And then from there, we are theoretically live.
Theoretically.
Live.
Yes. We'll see if our people come.
It's going to go over to... That one looks like it says we're live.
Excellent connection.
Okay. It's spinning. It shows the page. You get the chat over there.
Yep, we're waiting for the people to come. I know you're out there.
All right, I'm going to pop that over to live chat so that we see everybody. Even if you're a bot, we'll talk to you. No, we won't.
Well, once we discover it, you're done.
You're done. You're done. All right, that works. That looks good. The sound is going to be whatever. Still functional.
We have Hobob Gob here.
His body's ready.
Are you sure about that?
All right.
So have you started now, like in this moment, John, are you now allowing yourself to think about these fixtures?
I've been had a bit of a messy personal time.
Oh.
So.
No, I'm taking it.
Well, in a way, it's good for the stream because I've not been able to think about it. So I'm coming into this about as cold as you can get. Like, I've even forgotten all the things that were talked about
right
during the tournament. This tournament, more than... I feel more than other recent tournaments. Everybody was just like, oh, we have ideas about who goes where. And everybody was really on top of it because of how crazy everything was. And... Like, I was going through it, you're like, okay, it's just part of the discourse. Everybody's going to have their fun. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, damn it, now I'm going to come into this. I'm going to have some thoughts already carved in. And now it's all gone.
Yeah, well, you know, it was weird. It had such a wild ending, and then we had our rants. And
yes.
Now it's just like, oh, Sumo's starting up again. Like, just when you finally get over it all, it's back. Yes, there are plenty of hot takes on this live stream. This is going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, so we'll do the easy ones.
Oh, so Mitch got in the top 5 for Guess the Banzuke. Didn't he get number 1 in the other sumo game? I was surprised he didn't come around and gloat. I wonder if he's coming by tonight. He did not make any comments. H-Tim is ready. Are we just
throwing things over there? Do I have to hang on? We got to do this so you can see the screen. We got to shift.
Yeah, I know. I gotta shift.
Yeah, we got to hang on. We'll both do some moving because we can.
Over here.
Yeah, you move there. I don't want to block your line of sight.
I'm good.
You good? You got in?
Yeah, I was trying to figure out how to look at the chat and that, and I got it now.
Settings bounced back in a big way.
See, now I don't even remember how Shodai did. This is terrible. What's his record? At 6-9. Okay, typical Shodai.
Yeah. Yeah, right now it's just the put people just based on the numbers.
And then mess around later.
And then we mess around later. Oh my god, I forgot about the 3 and 12. Ooh, he's going to take a tumble. Oh, I remember this conversation. We're going to have this conversation.
Yeah, you had to refresh your memory.
Okay,
There is a Waka... Oh, I spelled it wrong.
Let me check.
I have a friend who's in Japan right now, and he's going to buy me some sumo stuff, so it's cool. I'm like, hey, we're about to do a sumo live stream.
I almost want to give Ichi Yamamoto a hold. We'll dump people where the math puts them, and then we'll deal with it. Oh, they're getting... Ooh, Takeru Fuji is going to be like top 2, top 3. Let's get it. 11. 5. Oh, and 5's could be a bit of a logjam. Numbers are not pretty this time. And that conversation with Takayasu.
Yes, which we don't really know what they're going to choose to do.
I think...
yes, Kaliwala, you made it on time. We have barely begun this long night of Banzukeing.
We could just nudge larger for everybody. There we go. Oh, 3 and 12, that's right. Ugh. Oh, you're gonna crash out, and you're gonna. Oh wow, he's mathematically in. Look at that. Just dragging. Just dragging.
Ooh, we're getting some spammed likes and 100%, and that's pretty sweet.
9. Oh, you're mathing out of here, buddy. Goodbye.
So, how have you guys been feeling since the tournament ended? It was such a, the downs of Takayasu, the ups of Onosato, the drama of Hoshoryu. Like, did everybody just, chill and now we're ready for a fresh start? Or is there still some, bad blood in the air?
Huge jams this time. I overthought the last Banzuke, so I'm going simple with math over everything this time. Takayasu is an easy one, says Monster.
Easy, huh?
I don't know who's going to get that yet. All right, 15. Oh, yeah, Mitakumi's out. God.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a bloodbath with some of the guys.
All right, so Kusano narrowly avoids weird math with a 14-1 Yusho instead of the 15-0.
So that means he doesn't come up, right?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Let's see. I'm officially not an Onosato hater. I actually want him to get Yokozuna, unlike when I was rooting for Kirishima's failure in his run. Bad blood. Mega barf to Onosato taking the Yusho. Uh-oh, there's still some tensions in the air. It's a little glum, but I don't have to think about it for a couple weeks except this stream, so I'm not worrying about it. Yeah, this is the fun stream.
Yeah, we're chill.
Hanging out, picking some spots, trying not to think about sad
Let Shishi
things.
bounce.
I feel like Hoshoryu should have stayed down for Yokozuna tourney, and he's out. If he comes back and doesn't do well, he'll have to retire.
No, he doesn't.
Nope. They have set a precedent where that will not happen. They let Kisano Sato sit out for a year. So I think he'll be okay for a little while.
I'm thinking that it'll be like a 3-strike rule.
Yeah, they'll give him a couple tournaments.
So this tournament is like whatever. He's injured.
He's been showing up to all the practice
showing
bouts.
up. He's doing all the dohyo entering stuff. He's doing the out of ring Yokozuna stuff.
He's fought Kotozakura and Onosato in the tour.
Yeah. So come May, if he underperforms, I think there'll be some more. There'll be a slightly sterner approach.
Yeah.
They'll be like, okay, get your stuff together. Come July, if he doesn't perform, okay, then
we got to worry.
Then we worry. So we're not going to be actually worrying about him retiring until July, no matter what happens.
And the funny thing is there's no guarantee that won't happen to every single guy who does come up to Yokozuna. We are looking at a different generation of fighters.
Let them. So
you can't think about that stuff.
Yeah, don't. Yeah. So if you're
Not till
worrying
you're
about
in
it, or if you're hoping for doom or anything like that, it's going to be the summer. So
you got time.
Yokozakura is going to fall away slowly. He needs to get a hold of that, whatever's going on with his knee.
Yeah, he might get stuck in the Takakeisho curse.
Takayasu taking Kamasubi. I'm guessing Wakamoto Haru just as SOL? Probably. Takayasu Iziseki Waki for me. He snubbed an 8-7 Kamasubi in favor in a 11-4 recently. Interesting. There's a precedent. Terunofuji had a long leash. Sensato had a really long leash. So sure he was younger than either of them. I see him with a super long leash, but he won't need it.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to need it, barring some catastrophic thing.
Well, optimistically, he'll be fine. He'll heal out of his injuries.
No one saw the Kisano Sato thing coming. He was fine until that injury.
And then he decided not to do surgery.
And he should have just done the surgery. Because they let him stay out a whole year anyway.
Yeah, they just let him go. he was the first Japanese Yokozuna in however long to like take as long as you need. And he's just like, I'm gonna take more time than that.
Right, and then I don't get the surgery. I just do whatever it is I was doing. I don't know.
Sure, he basically beat the Ozeki every time they faced off. He'll be fine. Yeah, well, I really hope so. I hope he does amazing, but I feel like Onosato will outshine him so bad eventually. Even if he retires a year from now, it's still too early for him.
I'm not sold on Onosato yet.
Onosato will prove all the doubters wrong in May, or he'll prove them right.
Exactly. I mean, the truth about Onosato is, right, he looks like a Yokozuna. He's got the body for Yokozuna. He seems healthy. He's young. He's skilled. But he's got all these weaknesses that he's not there yet for me. Now, you could say that about Hoshoryu, and I'd be fine with it. But I'm just saying, I'm not convinced yet about Onosato. He's going to have to show me something.
Hoshoryu's main problem is the Megashira. Onosato's is Hoshoryu. Whoever makes it to their match with a better record will take the Yusho, it feels like. I can see that.
Yeah.
He's going to look up the youngest Yokozuna to retire.
But I think about the potential here, like Hoshoryu, Onosato, like the next rivals.
I think the three of them will be rivals.
Yeah, I just hope Hokozakura.
Even if Kodazakura never gets to Yokozuna.
Right.
He has the makings of a strong Ozeki.
Right, and that's kind of all you need.
I'm not gonna put the hex on him.
I mean, Goedo was a pretty like formidable guy jumping in there with the Yokozuna.
I think we can think of at least one. Rikishi, who was a career Ozeki.
who basically fulfilled the role of Yokozuna when none of them showed up. Yeah.
Look.
Yeah, I'm not bitter. I'm not bitter at all. You know, one Ozeki who carried the sport for several years, only to be spit upon as soon as he couldn't perform anymore. Yeah. You're right. You know what? I'm going to give Kodazakura some extra support now.
But be sure to spit at him as soon as the knee goes bad.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta, tradition. Tradition is you destroy anybody who fails.
What have you done for me lately?
Yeah.
Forget the last 5 years of stellar performance.
Well, the best part is now the Japanese love him.
That is
There's
nice.
There's screaming fangirls whenever he walks into a ring or walks by the ring, and I can't tell you how many shorts I've seen with hearts all over that say Takekeisho, and they're like fainting and everything like he's a member of the Beatles. I'm like, I don't understand.
Countdown until he's a ringside judge.
Oh yeah. He must feel really awkward because no one ever really paid attention to him, and now like they chase him down.
Well, he definitely had the persona, and he's taken it off, and it does seem that at least he doesn't mind there being less weight.
Well, yeah, like he went from being, Mr. Stoic, I'm the Ozeki, to being like almost like a kid. And he is a kid. He's only 28.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. The whole Takekeisho saga is just amazing.
No Hinkaku yet.
What's Hinkaku?
I'm not sure.
I feel like I've just been schooled.
We're going to have to pick Onosato again in Kachi class, but I don't be happy about it. He's going to be a solid pick for
anything.
Great. Never Makakoshi'd ever in the top division.
Yeah, think about that for a second.
So, if you just want positive score, it's not a bad choice.
Right. If you want to get some points.
I would be so okay with that. Onosato will have to prove himself taking down Hoshoryu enough times to earn it.
That's the key, right?
Yeah.
That's the key. I mean, Hoshoryu is the wall he has to match up against. He's way bigger than Hoshoryu, and yet he still has trouble. So it's going to be fun. Think of the fun. So we have 4, possibly 5.
Oh, we definitely have 4 people coming up. Okay, this is an easy bet here. Hello, Kaio. Hello, Roga.
So apparently I'm getting something of Wakataka Kage's.
Nice. You have to tell your friend to watch out, because there may be a tall Rikishi who just notices you're carrying Wakataka Kage merchandise, and you just gonna body check him and steal it.
I know, right?
You'll get a text from your friend, and he's sort of just like, the weirdest thing just happened. It's just this 300-pound tall Japanese man just decked me and stole the towel.
It's like, I don't have time to explain it to you. I'm sorry, friends. But thank you. I hope he visits some other sumo shops. Apparently that one was unique to the stable. I'll take it, though.
Oh, not bad.
If only I get his Wakataka Kage, whatever he's got me, I'll take it. That's awesome.
You think Abi is somewhere up to go, or is he at about peak? He's running out of time to go higher, I think.
I don't know that he's at peak either, but his body's breaking down, like John's saying. He's sort of an enigma.
If he wants to put together something, that window is closing on him a little bit. Henkaku is a respectable demeanor that is traditionally expected of Rokushi. Oh.
Thank you for the new term for us. All this time.
Hopefully I'll remember it.
5 years we've been doing this podcast now.
Yeah. It'll be,
in
September 2020.
Yep. So.
Still believe that for Kotozakura, it's either this year or never. That knee is probably going to become chronic over time.
Oh, no question about that. I mean, he's a big dude, so... if you already have knee issues, how is that knee getting any better without surgery? And if you're Ozeki, you can't get surgery unless you decide to drop all the way down and come all the way back up.
I'm going to deal with this mess later.
How many times have we seen that story?
Alrighty, so we are saying Wakamoto Haru, thanks, but try again. So I'm going to go like that. Takayasu's going to go over here. Abi might hang out around the top to upset people.
Pretty much. That's Abi's role.
Guess we all said our piece in the Sanyaku matters already. Yeah, it's pretty...
There's nothing really...
The big thing is Takayasu. I think...
Well, particularly when you have Wakamoto Haru. They both were in Maegashira 1. The difference is a half step. But I could see them doing exactly what you have there.
They've done this before to people.
They've done it to the Waka Bros before, for sure. I don't know if they're doing Takayasu any favors, though, by giving him Sanyaku.
He had mentioned, there was a Chris Sumo interview that Takayasu said that was one of Takayasu's goals was to get back to Sanyaku. So.
Oh, okay. So maybe they'll say, all right, so you've...
I mean, he's gonna get smashed in May, unfortunately.
Yeah, May is not gonna be his tournament.
No.
Don't expect a repeat. Mm-mm.
If he gets Kachikoshi, he'll be fine. Hello, WJ. Imagine if Abi became the next Forever Man like Tamawashi. That would give me a laugh.
That would be funny.
I never thought of that.
Yeah, he's like the Oni that sticks around forever.
I'd be fine with that.
Yeah.
I'd be okay with that.
I mean, think about how fun Sumo is with Abi doing his weird stuff. Because every time your guy is winning, and then you're like, oh, he's fighting Abi tomorrow. Oh, no.
Abi could do anything. Yokozuna to retire modern era. Futa Haguro at 25 kicked out for being a jerk. Tama Naomi, 27, died after winning a basho. Oof.
Oh, that's terrible.
Youngest to retire not due to death or bullying was Tochi no Umi at 28.
Okay, so hopefully none of these bad things happen to Hoshoryu.
So he has to survive 3 years of Yokozuna to avoid being the youngest ever to retire.
I think that's a modest goal.
Should be fine. Something definitely got to work on it.
Yeah. You can't rest on your laurels here. You have to, and he knows. He knows what he has to do.
No, Takahashi should definitely be above Wakataka Kage. Interesting.
I
don't have a horse in this race. See if people comment on it.
Yeah, see if there's like, no!
It'd be so amazing just upsetting people so Zeki runs or block former randos you show.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
He'll be destroying Takayasu's life forever.
Yes. Also, yes, thanks for the history lesson. Abi's master, Tarao, was a Tamawashi, old guy of his era. Why not Abi to be next longevity guy?
Oh, look at that. Now, Tarao is like the current master, right? Not the one that died?
That is the one that died.
That is the one that died, okay. I can't remember Abi's current master's name. Habab Gab. You know these things.
What the hell is he? I cannot find
Can't
Abi.
find him.
Can't find Abi. Shikotoriyama is some Homasho, who was before our time.
Yeah.
But basically somebody...
He's very young, I
Yep.
think.
I think they inherited the stock and kept the name, so...
Right. Yes, Bob Gob has come in and answered.
Hosh fights and gets mediocre results for like 3 Bashos. They won't make him retire. Nope.
No, they've set a precedent where that's not the case anymore.
Nope. So here's the thing. Mediocre Basho, even if it's like an 8 and 7, they'll get mad at him.
Right, he'll get warning
Yeah.
letters.
So if we're thinking mediocre Basho for a Yokozuna,
That's 10 wins.
that's 10, 11 wins. They'll be fine with that. For them, they will spin that as he's growing into the role.
Right.
If we're saying if he keeps pulling out or if he gets losing records,
That's a different story.
that is when, if that keeps happening through July, we got to be worried.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, because they let 3 different Yokozuna sit out for long periods of time, they already lowered the standard long before Hoshoryu was promoted, as people would say, too early. The standard has been degrading for a while now.
Hoshio is also scandal-free, knock on wood.
Yeah, which matters.
Yeah, so he's not causing trouble. He's...
Generally jovial, it seems.
He's definitely is accepting responsibility, which is something they like to see.
And he's still young and full of that vigor.
Yeah.
So he's not in the state Takakesho was in, where Takakesho probably felt like he was 40 years old instead of 28. Oh, sure, he was like a young hot shot. I think he can handle it.
Sure, it would have to be unimpressive for around a year, assuming he doesn't have any bad injuries or whatever that could extend it another Basho or 2. Yeah, he has to be doing horribly, like continuing these 5, 5, and 5s for it to be a problem in July.
Yeah.
And then if it is like this like miasma, I think about a year is when everybody will be like, okay, what's going on here?
Right.
I really hope that never happens, but I want as many years of Hoshoryu as possible. I think we do. At least that's my prediction. Hello, Goose. Goose is the stars.
Goose has arrived.
Goose is the sun.
With some poetry.
Homasho was one of the 7 samurai, the generation that was supposed to deliver sumo from Mongolian dominance. Oh, okay.
Interesting.
Oh, man, I haven't seen Tochi Ozan's name in a while.
Yeah, that didn't work out too well, did it?
Well,
what can you do? Yeah, no, they got Onosato.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they've been hyping him more, though. I feel like maybe they've been burned too many times and they're afraid. But I mean, you got the 2 Ozeki are both Japanese, and there's no other Mongolians because Kirishima. I don't think Kirishima is going to be making a comeback. So the Mongolian dynasty is about to be over.
Well,
unless Chiyoshima decides.
Oh my goodness! I would love
Chiyoshima's the next Yokozuna. I mean,
I'm looking here. I'm just trying to. We could have Aonishiki. Just thinking of non-Japanese people who could be up there. Takeru Fuji is Japanese, right?
Yes, he's Japanese. So
he's gonna be lauded across the lands.
Yeah, there's not any more Mongolian. Tamawashi's Mongolian, but I believe.
Yes.
But eventually he'll retire.
Yeah, he's a Japanese citizen, so.
Yeah.
Hakuoho and Onokatsu will get my attention this time around. Yes, that's a good call for both of them. Onokatsu finally got a break from the schedule makers. Hard to predict who will do well in middle Megashira with all the tough guys, though. There's a nice chunk of just heavy hitters
that are just going to beat each other up and see who survives. It's going to be a war of attrition, pretty much.
So we're getting into initial decisions. This feels right, but now we have this.
The log jam of sorts.
So, do we do this? And then Chiyoshoma gets a break. Ichiyamamoto gets a half step. Ura's getting a bonk down there. I don't know. I feel like
Yeah, that's tricky.
now we're getting weird here.
Yeah, there's some weird scores there in the middle.
So 6 and 9 M second. Yeah, because you don't want to. Yeah, like get. Well, I guess Hiroumi and Takerufuji are both getting a half step lower than they would normally, just because there's no room. I guess that makes sense. Ichiyamamoto gets a little bit of a break.
Which with the...
do you want to give him the hold?
I could see the hold.
Do you want to give him the hold?
I could see the hold, yeah.
Give him the hold. Let's give him. We'll play God. Let's see if the chat gets after us. Onokatsu is Mongolian.
I was just thinking that.
Okay.
I don't know.
Onokatsu is the only young upcoming Sekitori. Then you have to look at Makushita. Watch out for Ochiru. Terunofuji lookalike Tsunojoy and Isegahama. Chiyoshoma and Ichiyamamoto need to keep their smarts about them. Chiyoshoma does not have that problem.
No, he's just the fact that he's very old now. And it's got to get, like, exhausting after a while.
How are we going to do this?
I don't know. That's really messy.
So I'm thinking Hakuoho just doesn't have anywhere to go. And Aurora gets only the one bop. Or do we want to give him a half? Give him a half. Give Oshoma not as good. Actually, no, hang on.
Let's try that.
Yeah.
I like that.
We'll do that. 3M6 and 2M7, let's go. That's how the math works.
Mathing it up.
Changed around M4 and M5 a couple times already on mine. Fairly confident I'm getting it wrong, whatever.
Yeah, you do hit that point sometimes where
you're just like, look, it like, sometimes you'll stare at it, you're just like, look, it fits.
It looks good enough.
It looks good enough.
It's like putting together a puzzle that's all white pieces or something, and you're like,
God.
It kind of fits in there.
I think Hiroumi will be above Gonayama because of the recent history on SumoDB. Stable Master is retiring in September, something I've seen no one talk about. Interesting.
Yeah, we haven't heard that, actually.
So they think that Hiroumi above Gonayama. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I think that fits. Although Gonayama gets a little bit more penalized.
A little bit more, but...
than Ichiyamamoto or Ura, but...
Yeah, He may have the same notes for us than the others. We'll see.
What happens if you switch Gonayama and Takerufuji?
He gets even worse.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I had a dyslexic moment there. Never mind. You
gotta pull things. This is how you figure it out. This is how you figure it out. Chiyoshoma M17 West for pulling at Cheesy Henka.
Well, they have a family history as well.
He had Oshoma as head of Ichi and Chiyo. All right, so the chat is going for the convention of people with the promotions are getting higher up, and then people are getting demoted or getting a little worse.
Okay, that is a tactic for sure.
Yeah, so
we have to think about perhaps what messages the council wants to send. Well, if Goose hasn't heard about Oho Stable Master, then it just can't be true.
Maria, Goose has been struggling. What version of the Karo Khan would you find most effective against E4?
Is this a cricket question? Are you trying to see how much I retained?
Yeah.
Because I have no clue.
Yeah. The monster you're referencing the 7-8 syndrome. So you have Chiyoshoma, then Oshoma, then Ichiyamamoto.
He said, you missed my message. Switch to all message.
No, I just ignored it.
Yeah, sorry, Monster. This is no offense to John, but John doesn't catch the messages like I do because I'm a hawk and we never get anywhere.
I'm doing this.
Yeah, John.
Your job is the chat.
So
okay?
It's my fault. It's my fault.
Don't get this on me.
What did I miss?
Go for getting this. No, it was this one. It was this one here about the 7 and 8. I
was gonna say I missed it too. Then.
Yep. The thing is that then I read this one because it was funny.
Oh, okay.
And then I didn't circle back around to it in time for Monster.
Okay,
That
so
was that happened.
the monster just needs me to read every message. Okay.
I will eventually go back up. I wander, and then again,
That's what I was trying to say. I couldn't even get the words out.
Go.
John wanders. Like if a comment really gets his attention, he'll be like, "I'm gonna read that one first." Whereas I'm like, "No, I have to go in order," which is somewhat lame.
I go up and down. I'm not good about that. This is my focus. So here's what's going on here. So on my far left is Maria. I have to talk to her because I'm in the room with her, and this is the reason I'm here is to hang out with Maria.
Exactly.
Spoiler alert, chat. You guys are not number one priority for me. And then number 2 is the chat, who's direct center. And then number 3 on the right is the guest of Banzuke, which we're supposed to be doing.
Right.
It never works out.
It never works out that way, though.
So.
All right, so I'll try to do my job and read the chat.
With apologies, people, I am triple tasking.
Which is very difficult this late at night in particular.
So please, what do you say? Please understand.
Yeah.
Please. Thank you for your patience.
Yes.
Thank you for your please consider what's the correct phrasing, the Japanese phrasing for this kind of a thing. There is a very specific canned phrase I can't think of right now, which is you say this, it's like, oh, somebody's screwing up, and it's like, oh, but thank you for your consideration. You know, it's just like,
right?
But please consider this situation. I don't know. Anyway.
You like trying to turn it into a positive, yes, I understand that I'm failing you, but
whatever, guys. I'm a hack. Spoilers again.
We're making it too American now. Okay, so I'll read some stuff. His ring name was oh boy.
All right, hang on. All right. His ring name was Matsuru Gata, and he retired in '86. Again, sorry, Monster. Goose doesn't know, then it can't be true. Absolutely false. I intentionally ignore Sumo News. Nice.
That's probably for the best. It's not worth it.
There's also like when the rumor mill gets really going.
And it's going right now.
It's going.
We're not even going to talk about it.
I am not talking about it.
I'm just going to say this. We know it's happening, but don't ask us to talk about it.
I will be focusing, Tim.
John
take the 10 for Takeru Fuji in May, and Goose only cares about the bouts.
Which makes perfect sense. That's the fun part.
Yeah.
The rumors and the news,
And there's also, this is the mental game. All the noise going on, can you focus in the moment?
Mm-hmm. Everybody seems to have some sort of noise going on. Oh, no. You didn't know about the rumors? We can't talk about them. We can't talk about them. You'll hear about them soon.
Why is the mouse not going? Oh, there it is.
Oh, that's...
I see. So I have to be in the top half to go over, and if I'm in the bottom half down here, it just gets stuck.
Oh.
It gets stuck.
We're trying something new, too. We put just the chat on this screen, and so there's a little bit of a learning curve.
There's a dedicated monitor for chat, which makes it even worse that I'm not reading it correctly.
Yeah, but you know what? I couldn't figure out how to zoom in on it. Like, usually we zoom in, but if it's popped out, it doesn't seem to have a zoom option.
Hang on a minute.
Maybe if you right-click.
Hang on. Check it
There
out.
we go. Okay. All our problems are solved.
Bam.
This is why you're the computer guy.
Sure.
I am not the computer person. I don't even know how to zoom in, for goodness sakes.
I can turn it off and turn it back on again, guys. Alrighty, so. Alright, wait, there's rumors. Another Sumo News, Rikishi just died. Yes, I heard about that.
I did not hear about that.
Yeah, dude got gangrene. Yeah, it's bad. It's correct phrasing is F off if you don't like how I'm doing things. You can go run a successful sumo page and go talk to me. Okay.
We try to be, nice. Unless somebody says something about the wrong sumo wrestler.
Oh boy.
Then it gets a little dicey.
Yeah. So the things that, yes, there are rumors about a certain former Yokozuna, and it's tabloid.
Yes, Monster's now getting the Hakuho thing.
And
listen, there's more to just the tabloid. I don't want to get too into it, but there's more than just the tabloid posted it. In my personal opinion, based on how these things go, I think Hakuho leaked that, or one of Hakuho's supporters leaked that, because I think Hakuho is considering it. It would be a hard decision for him, but I think he probably is sick of the games, but he wants to put public pressure on the Japanese Sumo Association. So I think where there's smoke, there's fire.
There's probably some of that.
Like, I don't think it's just the tabloids made something up. Somebody went to them. And in Japan, if you want to get stuff out there, that's how you do it. You go to the tabloids and let them do all your dirty work for you because it's a society where you're supposed to save face. But the tabloids can be as dirty as they want, and they'll say, yeah, it's a tabloid. So I have a feeling there is a hint of truth, and I think that Hakuho is just trying to deal with things. But of course, I'm in America, don't know for sure, but I do get a little queasy. Don't ask me. Okay, here's the guys. You asked, okay? I didn't say all the stuff I have heard. I just gave you a general statement. Yeah. I could really gossip if I wanted to, and I really don't like to, actually.
There's like Hop says, a lot. Some of it feels like the news was a lack of news, and then people got all fussy.
Well, that's the funny thing too, right? Whether it's tabloid or mainstream news, the news exists to tell you stories. If it is slow, they are going to run with some stuff that maybe they don't really have enough credibility on, because they got to make money. This is their job, so very possible. But let's just say it gets the people fired up, and then the comment sections get really unbearable again. I hope nobody comes to our comment section.
M7 through M10 is a nightmare.
It's very subtle, but you can notice when Maria and John's New York accent comes out. It's such a funny thing, because I was just having this conversation with somebody. As you all know, I did voice acting training for many years. Before voice acting training, my New York accent was way thicker than this. Because whenever you do voice acting training, they teach you the whole standard American accent thing, and they try to destroy all hints of your, regional accent. So, this is controlled radio speak. If I was speaking my old way, it'd be like, "Oh yeah, can I have some coffee?"
Coffee.
Yeah, the capital of New York is Albany. That's how I spoke.
Cup of coffee.
I need a cup of coffee. Yeah.
Why does there need to be news between every boss show? You get less off season than most sports.
What a great point.
What a pointer.
These animals. You gotta get them out of here.
All they want to do is stir up trouble.
Yeah, don't forget that. Yeah, forget about it.
Walking here.
And yes, I do come from Italian heritage, so there's many, many things. Many of those stereotypical things. He wants us to use our accents more. And you have a little bit of an Irish accent that comes out sometimes.
A little bit, yeah.
Every once in a while, and it's all about the cadence, like when your sentences go up, where you're like, or they sound like a question, and maybe it's like that, and we'll try to be less professional on these ones anyway. I miss my coffee, okay?
Coffee, just a little bit of a cup of joe.
Exactly.
Oh, just smidgen.
You ready for this? Instead of saying wash, I used to say worsh.
Worsh.
Worsh. Because I had a very Irish grandmother.
Wash your dishes.
Yeah, she'd always say, "I gotta take out the wash."
Take out the wash.
And what's it? It's not roof, it's roof. Roof.
It's a riff.
There's too many accents in New York. There are a whole bunch of accents.
All stuffy in this house, got a lot of air out.
Yeah, exactly.
Didn't know I had an accent until some random lady told me I had one.
I think that happens to everyone. Like all of a sudden they're like, "Where are you from?" I don't know.
I'm a bit old. Like, I was an Australian raised in Saudi Arabia. People think I have a Canadian accent.
That's interesting.
Make sure they're not just hearing JJ talk.
No, what's funny though is that I don't always hear the strongest Australian accent with Goose. Like, I can tell he's Australian, but I've heard thicker accents. I meant the movies
for the accents. We don't know. He wasn't telling us to do an accent, but we did it anyway.
Yeah, we felt like it. Okay, just felt like it.
Yeah.
It's all descending into madness already. I knew it was coming. But at least I'm getting some sort of Wakataka Kage merchandise. Pretty pumped about that.
I think Kimbo's just gonna get caught.
I hope I get another text that says, "Now I'm at the Kokugikon and they have everything." I can't tell Goose has an accent. It's not... He definitely has an accent, but it's not as strong as, like, when you watch any of those guys that are out in the wilderness saving animal videos. The funniest thing about the Canadian accent is the sorry. I'm sorry. That should be our apology when somebody trashes us.
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
I don't know if I can do any other Canadian words. I can't think. But the sorry makes me laugh.
I don't sound like my countryman. He has that waterfowl accent.
What?
Oh, boy.
No, actually, I was watching a YouTube short the other day of, like, some Australian guys, like, saving a shark that was beached on, that was stuck on the beach. And this shark is, like, trying to attack them. And somebody puts in the comments, the people come up and they're like, oh, it's a shark. And the shark's like, oh, it's Australians. And I'm like, yeah, that's pretty appropriate.
Next suggestion, switch Onokatsu now Nishiki. That's fair. I understand this. Onokatsu is coming from a higher rank.
Yes.
So then I'm just going to do this for now. This is 42. Crap. I mean, the maths. All right. Nobody's no longer fighting over ranks. I'm not saying it's set. It's not. It's still a mess. But we're no longer like have 5 people on M10.
Right. Everybody has their own spot.
Everybody has a spot. So from here on,
now we need to figure out like that.
We're gonna stare at proximities.
Yeah.
So like when we okay, so for kicking out, Nishiki Fuji is just there's no saving him. He's completely gone.
Same with all the others.
Mitakeumi is way too low, so he's gone.
Yep.
He's gone. Shirakumo also way too low. He's gone. So
Nishikigi is probably saved.
By the skin of his teeth.
But what about Shonana Umi? He was like a half rank down.
He was,
well, I guess.
Yeah, he was. He actually mats to N17. He was.
Oh, okay.
He was gonna be safe narrowly. It's Nishikigi mats to be gone, but the thing is that Takara Fuji is 2 rungs lower and has the same score.
Right, and now you have the Maegashira 18 spot.
Yep. The only thing that could have happened is if Fuji Seiyun had a little bit of a better rank. If he was a 10 and 5,
then he would have gotten it.
Nishikigi could have been gone.
But if Nishikigi was gone, then I would guess Shonana Umi would have been gone too, because...
Yeah. Well, it would have been... It would...
Because look they're at the same... Oh, yeah, he got one more win.
He got one more... That is
but he's a half rank down.
It's the one win is
we'll
the math.
Save him.
Is the math. It's that crucial extra win that would have gotten into him. All right, so...
Ooh, foot just fell asleep.
Yeah, so...
Sitting on it.
So Nishikigi definitely right here, bottomest rung, saved by the grace of God.
Yeah,
the grace of Gad.
Lucky for that Maegashira 18 spot.
Yeah. So we have Asakoryu, who also
will be spared. Yeah, I'm wondering. Maegashira 16 with a 6 and 9.
Do you save Takara Fuji?
Oh, maybe.
It'd be like this, actually.
I need the chat to chime in here.
Yeah.
What do you think? Does Asakura...
Shonana Umi both up 1 rank. Okay, yeah. Juryo bullying makes sense. Tama's Yoho is actually kind of high up here, but
where else?
We'll worry about that in a minute.
Yeah, thoughts. Is Asakuryu going down instead of Takara Fuji? I think the thought was Takara Fuji was going out, but Asakuryu is lower ranked, and Koto Shoho actually broke his Makikoshi streak while still in Makauchi. He didn't wait to get a Kiryu show? The world must be ending. Monster insists that Takeda Fuji is done.
Okay.
Is there enough math for Asakuryu to be gone as well, or is he spared? I need some opinions on this.
Well, the when it comes to falling out, you need someone to replace you.
Right. So is there enough Juryo guys or no?
We have 4 people who are promoting.
Okay.
So
and there's no chance for a 5th because of Fuji Seiyun.
Fuji Seiyun was so close. He was so close because 2 or 3 of his losses were one was to Kusano on like the last few days, and then one was to one of these guys. So if he had picked up either one of those,
they would have had to.
Not only would he be a 10-5, which would mathematically get him like on the cusp, but then they would also then to say, okay, Fuji Seiyun was 10-5 and he beat the Yusho winner in Juryo, or he's 10-5 and he beat this guy who's going down anyway.
Right.
It's just the 9-6, you just can't do anything with it.
To have doubts about Onosato, who is probably the most talented, currently most winning, relatively injury-free, is young and currently on a Yokozuna run, seems pretty preposterous to me. Okay, he can't beat Hoshoryu consistently. You can have all of these things, but being Yokozuna is something else. Now, I'm not saying he can't make it to Yokozuna. I'm sure he will make it to Yokozuna. I'm saying that some of his losses... Let me put it to you this way. Some of his losses are preposterous. How about that? He loses in ways that he shouldn't for a Yokozuna. Now, you could make the same point for Hoshoryu, and I'm not going to argue with you on that. My arguments about Hoshoryu are merely that he did what he needed to do. He did what he was told he needed to do to get the rank promotion. Is he a perfect Yokozuna? No. No. Is he a Terunofuji? No. Is he a Hakuho? No. But Onosato seems to have more lapses to me. But as John said, Onosato can show up in May and prove me wrong. I just have like that gut feeling of it's not quite right yet.
Onosato is going to be having his 2-year anniversary of being a pro sumo person in May.
Right. So there's the answer right there. Hoshoryu's been fighting a lot longer than Onosato. Like, no question to me, unless he gets injured, Onosato's a Yokozuna. I said that long ago.
Yeah. So
I thought he would get there first, honestly. But he has holes in his game, and it probably is because he's only been here for 2 years.
Uncut gem. So he cuts those gems, he's going to be shining. By the way, I thought Kitty Yusho was just a reference for Juryo Yusho, like it was like a little cat compared to the big cat. So I didn't actually think it was a typo until Hobgob corrected himself.
Yeah, I was confused. I'm like, is this another thing we're being corrected on?
Yeah. Asakori is pretty safe. Even if they brought Fuji Seiyun up, it would be Nishikigi going down. Okay.
Oh, so anyway,
good news. I like Asakori. I didn't want him to go. I just thought he was.
Yeah, he's so great. He's fantastic. And no problem with the delayed response. But what I would say is, it doesn't have to be a zero-sum game. Like, it doesn't have to be either Hoshoryu or Onosato. Like, you don't have to pick a team. You know what I mean? Like, you can like them both.
I like them both.
They can both be Yokozuna.
Rooting for your boy Fuji Seiyun. Been following him for a while. Fujishima Bea has been going crazy with recruiting lately. Fuji Seiyun has to step up and be the Sekitori senpai that Bushozan was. Oh, Bushozan.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yep, we're going to remember the Kitty Yusho. I got to... So, I will forget, but I don't want to forget.
I know.
Yeah. Onosato pulls too much. He got a lot better at it in March, minimizing the backwards move, and it still happened. But that's probably... Once Onosato is 15 days of going forward like a wrecking ball, that's when we know he's made it. Once
again, pulling, that's the mark of someone who hasn't been fighting as long as others. You just kind of beat that out of yourself eventually. He's just green, but green as an Ozeki because he's really awesome.
He's just a pile of raw talent and power.
Exactly. Yeah. Like I take nothing away from him. Like you said, what was it?
Uncut gem.
Uncut gem, exactly.
Still shining. Enough data yet on Onosato. This is the 2-year point. Yeah, give him a couple. Yeah, almost the end of this year. Like, it doesn't need to be too long. Rather watch Asakori over Ryuden, personal choice. Asakori, he is such
he's amazing,
darling to watch.
I love him. Like, I hope he can survive. I really do.
Yeah, a pixie type. Those are always popular. Kitamiyama blames Fujishima Oyakata, former Ozeki Musoyama, for the Kosho Seido system being gone, pulled out after a few early losses on a lot of occasions. Yeah, the Kosho was the
The protection thing?
There was an injury protection, and then I think it got abused to the point that they took it away. And now that combined with the increase in body size due to sports medicine and general bulking up, combined with the extension of Oyakata retirement age, which means people are fighting longer.
And the fact that it's so highly competitive, especially with the whole, like, you get the between salary and non-salaried.
Yes.
Guys will do whatever it takes to get out of that. There's a desperation in sumo that is created by the system that you almost, you're going to abuse systems because you need to win. You need to win at all costs. So it almost takes some of the honor out of it because they make it's a dog-eat-dog system.
It's like they'll find an injury if they need to. They'll get a doctor's note.
Exactly.
They'll get a doctor's note. Asakuri's brother barely missed out on Jiro promotion, lost his 3-3 match on the last day. That sucks.
So your doubts are he's not ready for Yokozuna now. That's fair, but if he's not ready, then probably no one is. I do like both Hoshoryu as a star, but you should have much confidence in both. Okay, I think he's ready for Yokozuna now. I don't think he's ready to be the dominant guy that everybody expects once he gets there. That's where the doubts are. I do have confidence in both. My doubts are merely that everybody's putting so much on Onosato, and I don't know that he'll live up to the expectations that people have. Same as Hoshoryu. They're kind of in the same boat. So all I was saying is that, you know, people are saying things like, Onosato is way better than Hoshoryu. He's going to clean up, and Hoshoryu is going to look like a clown, and blah, 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 blah. And I'm saying take a step back, because the two of them are really not that different in terms of how they handle the pressure and the way that they lose. They each have their weaknesses. If we're comparing to Yokozuna of the past, neither of them stack up against the Yokozuna of the past. That's just the truth. Now, it's a different field. You know, it's hard to compare different eras because, like I've said in other talks, maybe Hakuho's opponents, some of them were not nearly as tough in the mid-Maegashira as Hoshoryu's opponents are. And that came from Terunofuji. Guy's been fighting since the golden age of Hakuho. He has something to say about this. So I think I'm being misunderstood. I'm just saying I think Onosato will get Yokozuna. It'll probably be soon, but he may not be the dominant guy yet. Might have to wait a little while.
Kaio said it best in his article, Onosato's wins look dominant, his losses are terrible.
Yes.
That's it. These are things to fix. He is improving.
Yeah,
this is always the big thing.
Yeah.
Are you improving from tournament to tournament? Are you shoring those up?
And I think he will improve, and I think, you know, a couple years down the line, once again, barring any weird catastrophic injuries, he's going to be awesome, and no one will remember this period of time at all.
We haven't talked about it yet, but the toughest part, this whole cluster right here is, I don't know what to do. I just threw things in. We'll figure it out together, though. Any thoughts on a Tommy Baloney? Is he ever going to get it together or just continue to rely on being big and yo-yo up and down? I'm wondering if this is sort of the crash out he needed. Hopefully. Because he was scraping it together in this M1 to M4 in the lion's den.
7 to 8.
7, 8, 8, 7. Just just so close. And then he has a setback, and we're like, okay, he'll do better. And then he falls again. And
we were worried about that. That was our warning.
So, Hira de Umi did that, and he's on his way back up.
Right. Hira de Umi was looking.
So Hira de Umi, like, he touched Sekiwaki, and we're like, bad luck. Hira de Umi gets a 10 and 5. They don't promote him. He gets a 7 and 8. They kick him out of Sanyaku, and then he sort of falls down from that on his way back up. And it's like, you can't say Tommy Fuji has a training problem.
No.
He's got the best stuff. So for Tommy Fuji, I hope this is sort of his come to Gad moment.
Well, what I'm worried about with him is all the health problems they talk about, which are not injuries. Here's the thing, right? Some guys can put on 200 pounds, and it doesn't affect them as it does to other people. Everybody's bodies are different. So the weight does matter from a health standpoint. Things like cellulitis, things like diabetes. Some people are more prone. if he's dealing with diabetes, cellulitis, thyroid, there's all these different things I've heard, osteoarthritis. Some guys, they can put on those 200 pounds and they don't have arthritis. Tommy Fuji puts on the 200 pounds and he does. So
maybe he needs to slim up.
Yeah, he might be too heavy, guys.
Yeah. Plenty of good talent out who can act as plot spoiler. Maybe I'm still just waffling on who goes which side of M9. There's that too. Tommy is a yo-yo boy. I'm calling it honest. He needs to find his way out of the yo-yo.
Yeah, maybe he needs like a really good trainer.
There's a corner that needs to be turned for him because everybody agrees he has the talent. Everybody agrees he has the opportunities. It's just figuring out how to condense that all down. Yeah.
Some individualized training regimens for Tommy Fuji.
Yeah. Tommy Fuji best count to 15. He's lost. He does have there's some gas tank. Some of it is also just he's dug deep before. There is an initiative issue. Mm-hmm. Sometimes he can't get it back. Sometimes he doesn't know how to build it, and this goes down to if he's injured, if he's mentally concerned, like I can't push myself too much, then he's gonna be more passive. You got to feel
kind of bad for the guy to have all that on his shoulders. He's like 23 or something like that.
Super young. Oh my God, he's
like a 23-year-old dealing with health problems that 40-year-olds have. I mean, that stinks.
So it's a scary thing. I just heard Ono Sato is still improving. He sure is. Yeah.
I say that as well. Like, hey guys, he's only gonna get better.
Yeah. I think we more or less agree. It's probably more how you describe each situation seems different, which I think probably a reaction to how the general consensus is on each guy.
You know what? I can make it simple for you. I'm just not a very precise speaker. Sometimes whatever's in my head is coming out, and I have to sort of mold the words after the fact. I'm sort of a reactionary speaker. So yes, I think we do agree. Actually, you just got to deal with my wackiness, I guess.
There's some love in the chat.
They are just
I'm all here for love and chat. It's fine.
Yeah, they're all having a good time.
Yeah.
Texas is coming up.
Yeah, it's a couple weeks.
Yeah, it's the week after next.
Yeah.
So, Goose in America. What a scary thought, huh?
We survived it before somehow.
But the weather shouldn't be too bad at this time of year. It's been pretty cold this year.
They're down in Texas. They don't care.
Yeah. And Australia is very hot, too, so.
Rollertown Derby in a few weeks. Dallas Sumo
Club. I will definitely be watching the YouTubes.
Streaming live commentary by one of the best in the game.
Mm-hmm. Goose will definitely be fun to listen to when because JJ is competing.
JJ is competing.
I can't wait. It's going to be very fun.
The Canadian Shishi.
The Canadian Shishi. The great Canadian hope. JJ.
Oh, bless that man.
He needs to say sorry on the next live.
If you dig through the archives, you might have said it by accident.
Yeah, I don't know.
You got to parse through hours and hours.
You can't say sorry around Goose though, because it opens up a door that so he might be afraid. That might be like a forbidden word. But anyway.
Yeah. If you go through hours and hours of high quality Sunday morning Sumo Show commentary, you might hear a sorry out of him or some other Canadianisms that we haven't identified yet.
I'm definitely going to be listening.
I would highly recommend people to go through the Sunday morning Sumo Show archives and listen to hours and hours of high quality sumo English commentary
that occur apparently in a bathroom.
Kokugikan women's bathroom. But they're only there during the tournament. Otherwise, they're in the McDonald's across the street from the Kokugikan.
Must be quite the place.
Everyone at the top is still improving, which is awesome that they aren't in their final forms yet. Yeah, we're not. We've not seen any Frieza 4s quite yet. Went the coward option as usual and put Kimbo's on in the middle. It's why you're entertaining. Shame you can't be ours to make it.
Yeah, thank you for saying I'm entertaining, by the way. Right after I have to read these Goose comments. I appreciate you, STZ02.
Takayasu versus Wakamoto Haru was the best bout of March. Takayasu had a lot of bangers that were good.
He did. What a heartbreak, man.
I also have Kimbozan in the middle. I don't remember why, and I don't like it. Goose, by the way, we're having a funny.
Yeah, JJ wouldn't care. He's Canadian. Canadians are nice. I'm stereotyping like crazy.
JJ's the Great White North. Shishi is the Great White and comes from a northern country. You guys beat the Empire Cup Sumo Tournament in New York.
I have never heard of that. I didn't know that was a thing.
I think is it? Yeah, look,
I'm gonna look it
Maria's
up.
looking it up. JJ is the Great White Dork. Canadianisms, yes. JJ, if your Shishi do the butt bounce in your first match, oh my god.
You have to do.
Oh, look.
No, do the claw.
Yeah, I was about to say, do the weird insect claw.
We may not be there live, but we will be watching, and it will be funny. What is it called? The Empire Cup. Okay.
Come down to the Riverfront Sumo Tournament that we're hosting end of June. Oh.
Let's see.
Yeah, Maria's looking this stuff up. Half-minded to put Kimbozan below Midori Fuji 2, but I'm afraid of overt emotions. All right, here we go. So I'm working my way up from the bottom because I've gone my way up from the top and put everybody down. I'm gonna go from the bottom, work my way up, see what happens, and then we're gonna collide in the middle. I'm avoiding the middle. Kimbozan landed with a bump after the playoff.
It doesn't seem like it's popping up. It's like, give me all those Japanese things first. And the sumo and sushi thing, which we had looked at before. But I doubt that's the same thing.
This all looks okay. Kodo Shoho, Roga, Sadanaomi, Tokayate.
Then there's Riverfront Sumo Club. I'll look that up too. I'm not having any luck finding the Empire one.
I'll pay you $100 American to do the butt bouncing claws. That's what, a couple $100 Canadian.
Could you imagine how his opponent would react? He'd be like, "What in the world does he do?" He'd have no idea.
His opponent may bust out laughing.
Oh, it would be so worth it. He'd win the match. He'd be so thrown
it's
off.
a mind game. You're playing it from before the Tachi begins. You're already fighting your opponent.
JJ is winning the whole thing. I've already predicted it. Why isn't he here listening to us?
He'll come back. He'll come in his time. JJ, if you're listening, shout out to JJ. He's a cool guy.
Yeah, he's probably like sleeping at this point.
Well, could be working. You know how it is.
Yeah, I do.
Life happens.
Life is too busy, isn't it?
It's bad sometimes. All right. So this bottom, maybe we're moving people left, right, or whatever, but.
Well, there's a ussumo.org. Let's see if I can find things on there.
Would you like to come on the show the week after the tournament to do commentary with us? Nice. Yeah, dude, I'm here for craziness in the chat. This is the time.
This is why we do this.
This is the unregulated.
We have to
get effort.
We have to get all serious like during the tournament.
Nah.
This is for the fans.
Yeah, we're here to hang.
And we can thank Elise for that.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you guys for showing up and putting up with our madness.
Oh, I found it. It's in Japan Village. So it's not actually in Japan. It's in Brooklyn, in Japan Village.
Down
in the city.
In the city. Fair.
Oh, definitely cannot go on May 17th. I think I'm in a karate tournament.
Nice.
Yeah, that should be interesting. I'm a year removed from the first one I did, and I think I'm a little bit better now. So,
what is the Riverfront Sumo Tournament?
I'm looking it up on this.
All right. Yep.
Look, this USA Sumo thing is the key. Now I can find. It's like the anime convention websites. It tells you all of them.
Oh,
there's a Sakura Cup in Nashville. Raijin Training Camp.
Okay. All right. Oh, Shishi and Shodai swap. Hang on. Let's do it.
No, it doesn't have the Riverfront one.
Okay.
Forget you. You're
do
wrong.
it on day one of the Natsu Bashu during the Shishi match. The Shishi butt bounce. Shodai over Endo and Atami Fuji over Shishi. Let's see. Shodai over Endo. And Atami over Shishi. That does give a -3 to Atami Fuji, which is a little bit fair.
I'm way behind in the chat now after trying to find your guys' tournaments. That
Shishi 11 West is the bad choice. I'm going to go like this just so it's a little bit more fair. Kaliwali's a fan. Being a high school teacher right now is crazy. Kids screaming chicken jockey, Minecraft movie had taken over the American educational system.
You are brand new to this, right? Because you just graduated? That must be something. That must be something.
Kaio above Tamashoho.
30 minutes on fave anime, all serious. Love you guys. I didn't say we were all serious. and that usually actually happens on the live stream. Our preview shows and our recaps are very serious. We have like our notes, we go in order, we get very like into the details, and then I do live streams in the second week and it's all just whatever.
All right, Chernoumi, swapping Chernoumi and Onokatsu. Where are you buying the 100 line? I wasn't going to, but then I played the demo thinking about it. 100 Heroes, that's the Danganronpa Zero Escape guys.
Oh yeah, I had just been talking to a friend about it. I'm thinking about it.
Last Defense Academy.
It sounds very intriguing.
I'm all in.
Are you going to get the demo?
I'm getting the game.
When's the game coming out?
End of April.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll just get the game. That's fine.
Yeah.
Well, they're not streams, the recap and the preview show. John and I get together, we record. We tried one time to do a live recap show, and there were so many comments. It was too hard. We couldn't say the things we needed to say, read the comments. The show was like, it would have been 4 hours long if we read all the comments.
If we have some sort of a milestone goal, it would be like the entire Sunday is just a recap show, and it's live.
If we get 1,000 subscribers.
We'll think about it. Yeah.
I mean, because it's taken us 5 years to get 675. If you guys know people, even if they're not sumo fans, say just subscribe to this channel. You can do that, right? You know, like 20 people each.
Yeah.
Just say, hey, you'll like sumo. Subscribe to 42 Opinion Sumo.
Yeah, Last Defense Academy looks like it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes.
It's Danganronpa. Allegedly, there are 100 endings to the game.
Really?
Allegedly.
Okay.
There was an article our mutual friend sent me over, and it talked about how like the writer of Danganronpa and the writer of Zero Escape were working together, and
which is just insanity.
Yeah, and they're going on back and forth, and then the Danganronpa writer just like, oh, we needed to write 100 unique endings, and then the Zero Escape guy is just like, I think you're crazy.
It's too bad that we didn't pick that for the video game club, but it might take us forever.
I don't know. Well, That's
too much, maybe.
It may be a lot of game. Also, if it is that non-linear, then we may hit a point where we're playing like, oh, I got to this point, and you're like, what?
I didn't even play that route.
What are you doing on?
So we'll just stick with Alan Wake.
It would be like trying to do a blind run of Virtue's Last Reward. Yeah,
that's a good point, because whatever path you pick, right? You could never actually pick a point to discuss.
That's what it sounds like. If it is that kind of a game, maybe it's not, and maybe maybe one of the endings the coffee cup is blue instead of green. I don't know.
What we should do is, whenever there's some new game out that's like mildly interesting, we pick that as one that no one's played.
Yeah,
but it has to be mildly interesting.
The game we have on top is one no one's played.
Oh, no one's played Alan Wake?
No one's played Alan Wake.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah. Awesome. Okay.
So that was when we were we were having our discussion after Raincode, and we're like, I was just like, we have like 3-4 weeks before we care, and then we were like, oh, no one's played Alan Wake, and we all jumped on it.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah, I missed that whole thing.
So thank you to Monster and Hobgob. I moved it back. I think you would want Gabe Unik to do commentary with you guys, correct? I do youth sumo. I'm in high school. I edit and manage the YouTube and social media side of things.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
4-hour show.
It could be a thing. Love to do commentary with you guys, but I think you're thinking about Gabe. Wait till they have 1 million subs and do a live in-person recap show.
We could dress up.
Put a mask on. No one say.
The wolf mask?
Yes.
Okay, John will wear a wolf mask.
I'll wear a wolf mask.
I will dress up in a wig and such. There we go.
I'm not happy with Kodaka making every game hot. You thought it was like Danganronpa, but it wasn't. But I also liked the demo, so I'm lying to myself. I don't want to.
Yeah, don't lie to yourself. It's not worth it.
Whenever I'm on the fence about a game like that, I just wait for it to be on sale.
Yeah.
The people who there's a game called Slitterhead that came out. The people who made Silent Hill made an indie company game, and it's Slitterhead.
Okay.
And I wanted to support them because they're doing the breaking off and doing our own thing. Please like us. But I wasn't completely sold on the game, so I'm like, I'll wait for it to be on sale.
Right. Then you don't lose out.
They don't lose out, and then you get to still support them. I'll take anyone who does sumo on the show. It's fine, says Goose. We never played Danganronpa. Where to start? Don't. Danganronpa.
Just play the first one first because they are all connected. So if you're gonna play Danganronpa, play the first one first. Don't go out of order.
Yeah. Probably get to 1,000 pretty quickly if you add gaming and anime content. If we branch out, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to do those types of things, but it's the time commitment.
Chura's 1x extra win jumps 2x levels above Onokatsu. We're having a discussion about that. Characters remind me a lot of Danganronpa, not being the same character, but method of writing them. How in Danganronpa you weren't supposed to like a lot of characters at first.
Yeah, that was pretty genius of them.
Yeah, if you're with Goose, you could probably do a show pretty much indefinitely.
Yeah.
You just chat.
Yeah.
You just chat. Any chance they open a Komusubi slot? I hope they do and think they... I
don't think so this time.
Like about 3 years ago, yes.
But right now they're trying to be very economical. Yeah. Especially because there's not the logjam of Ozeki anymore. You know, like, when you had a bunch of Ozeki and some threatening, like, Daisho's not there, Kirishima's not there, they're not going to do it.
They like it cleaner. There was a point where there was like 4, 5, 6 Sanyaku slots because you had Ozeki that kept falling out. And then people,
you didn't really know who was the next guy.
And also people, like a lot of people in Sanyaku kept holding and they couldn't get rid of them.
Right. Now it's so cleaned up that it looks kind of bare, huh?
Yeah. So we're talking about Dangan's overarching story. I would agree. Just pick one because it's the first. That's where it boils down to.
Right. That's where you get your idea.
Yeah. Like you could talk about how 2 is probably the better game as a game. You could talk about how Raincoat is good to come in from the outside because it's sort of separated from the madness. But play Dangan 1.
And then you'll just end up playing them all because you'll get really addicted. Yeah,
well, you're gonna know very quickly in Dangan 1 whether or not that's your cup of tea.
Yes.
I'm not gonna get into the specifics.
Makes a splash.
But yeah, I'd say 2 to 4 hours in. Like either the hooks got you, you're interested enough to at least keep going, or you're like, F this.
This is not my thing.
You're just like, these people are weird. I'm out. So that's it. STZ, anything is possible. That said no. That's very true. That's like the
mantra for
the Banzuke.
The Banzuke.
Anything's possible. Goose, I'm a biased Shoryuken fan. I'll obviously make him my hometown hero. Yes. John Wolf Mask, Maria, Little Red Riding Hood.
Maybe Medieval Riding Hood. We'll say that.
Yeah. Put on chain shirt.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Goose came in an old moldy mask.
Couple of times, you guys decided not to even go on camera, Goose and JJ, I think. They were like, it's a night I don't feel like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't have your hair right, I mean, what's the
exactly.
point? You gotta look at.
It's too much pressure to, You guys like us better when you don't know what we look like.
Played partly the first Danganronpa, but I got over my death game narrative phase 10 years ago. Yeah, don't.
Yeah.
Let it go. It's not gonna.
It's one of those things where the nostalgia, right? If you get into it when you get into it, you'll always like it. But if you missed that phase in your life or you've moved on from it, it'll never be the same.
Goose in a goose costume.
That would be funny. As it is, we need a mascot, which is a cat, since they have a dog. I'm gonna get a cool cat.
Then he can win the Kitty U show.
The Kitty U show. There we go. Awesome. Bringing it back around.
Your Turn to Die Part 3-2 released in Japan a few days ago. No translation yet.
Boy, that's just like that just throws it right out there. That title.
No, sounds like something
that translates to something else.
No. Like we were talking about it. It might have been on our list. Might have been our queue. Could be. It's in that same
vein of games.
Yeah, it's in that genre. I think it's good. Okay.
I am really annoyed with this mosquito. Like.
Tried to get it a couple times. My kung fu is not strong.
I'm actually really good at it, but I haven't had a good angle on the mosquito. I've killed 4 of them already.
Nostalgia is incredible. I probably spent half my life playing old Pokemon games. The OGs were just There's nothing like them back in the day.
Nothing like, and nothing ever will be.
Yeah.
Part of that is your own self, but the other part is like things are just so different with technology. Just boop, boop, boop.
Yeah. Also, yeah. You'd have red, blue, yellow on a Game Boy.
Mm-hmm.
You'd play that till the batteries died.
Yep. Your whole world was that. Goose in a Jeff Dunham's Walter costume. Oh boy. Goose is probably back at work. Like, I don't want to talk to you people anymore.
Alrighty. So they're messing around with this mess. So from I think Nishikigi bottom basement spared. Achikuri, I don't know between Achikuri and Nishikigi who should be lower.
I almost think swap them.
Yeah, because I mean neither of these guys should be any higher than where they are.
Yeah.
So then we have Tochi Kai who mats to about right there. Tamashoho and Kaio, we had that swap right there. That makes sense because Kaio is the 9 and 6. And so by this nature, Shonan and Umi and Ryujin can't go any lower.
Right. So that kind of just cements them there.
So right there they're stuck. Ooh, missed that. Kodosho? No. Kodoshoho gets the bump. Yep. Kodoshoho just get a little bit of Banzuke luck. Got to look at the Aonishiki to Shishi area. Yeah, this is the mess. I'm working my way up to there, and then I'm going to work my way down to there. That way, like...
It's the only way to, like, sort of...
That way, the number of people we need to move around... Decreases. So, like, I'm sort of like... It's like, this chunk here, I'm okay with. This chunk here, I'm okay with. And then, like... And I'm just, like, peeling. And then we're like, okay, now we've gotten to the meat of this mess.
Yeah.
So, Roga, Kodoshoho, Sadana, Umi... Toki Hayate right here. This is good.
Or does Takanosho swap with Toki Hayate? Or is he already down enough spots?
Well, Takanosho, like, he mats to here.
Okay.
That's a clean mat. Toki Hayate mats to there. So these two are actually pretty clean. You got Asakuri over Nishikigi, but I would understand why someone would put Nishikigi over.
We did have that and just swapped it, so... I mean, I'm thinking with Maegashira 10... And then Asakuri, Maegashira 16, and just barely scraping by. I feel like they would give him the last spot.
Okay,
I could be wrong, but
yeah. Well, if we have Monster saying it could be basically saying it could be either way.
Right.
So if someone else has a strong opinion, then we'll consider it. Well, Tommy Fuji be the next Kodoshoho, makes it to Makuchi at 20, super promising. Then Yo-Yos for the next couple of years. Could be.
Feels that way.
Well, it is Atami Fuji has the opportunity to control his destiny.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's things Koto Shoho could have done, at least mentally, to overcome the hurdle.
It was a mental issue,
and he just didn't. Maybe Atami Fuji can do what Koto Shoho couldn't.
Koto Shoho burned out way faster than Atami Fuji. I'll stick up for Atami there. Yeah, so that's the.
Agreed.
I would say Atami Fuji is on the path to becoming the next Koto Shoho, and it is, but he has the opportunity to pull himself from this wicked course.
But he has to do it.
How much do they take into consideration future prospects of the Rikishi? Are they kind of the higher potential guys?
It depends.
If so, usually they're kinder to people coming up from Juryo.
If they think like he's...
like when it comes to star power, sometimes they'll over-promote somebody from Juryo to get them up into the top division if they think they're going to be the next big thing. Sometimes. Once you get to the top division is merit.
Yeah, it comes down to like the matches that you won. So if you're down at the bottom, you're just at the bottom of Maegashira, but you were in the Yusho contention and you beat an Ozeki, you might get a much bigger jump than you would just with that record, and you only fought the guys kind of around you.
Yeah.
Like a 10-5, for instance.
If anything, they would usually take seniority into precedence if you have two people who did more or less the same.
Yep. Never underestimate seniority.
Yeah. So like it's like, oh, this guy used to be, this guy was an Ozeki, or this guy was, he was, or sort of like a localized. So Tobizaro, like they're in that area, and they've been fairly kind to them.
Yeah.
The Banzuke.
And some guys always seem to get the best luck, like Tobizaro's.
There are some people who seem to be luckier than others. Tobizaro just has Banzuke luck.
Ura's loved, so anytime they can throw him a bone.
Yep. So there is that is there.
It exists.
The kindness to certain people does seem to be there, but typically once you get to the top divisions, it's like, okay, now you got to prove it.
Right, there is a merit component to it, not just potential.
Yeah. I mean, not to. There was the case of the suspicious Isegahama promotions back when Isegahama was in charge of the Banzuke committee.
Yeah.
That being said,
never underestimate biases.
Yes, that's when some new hot prospects got some real nice promotions.
Yeah, that didn't last too long. Yeah. All of a sudden, Isegahama got slapped down for something. I forget what it was. From
Nokatsu and Takeru Fuji, I think they've gotten some occasional favoring for a regular young guy like Tokihayate or Shoma. I don't think so. Shoma and Tokihayate debuted kind of late. I agree, Mancha. I don't think they'll get any favorable treatment.
Definitely not Oshoma. They don't really seem to love him that much.
Yeah, Oshoma did a scandal.
Exactly.
He was getting a little upset. People got angry. They had to sweep it under the rug.
So they're not really big fans, I don't think, of him.
Tokihayate really that old? He looks young. How old is Tokihayate? Oh, yeah, you got to scroll all the way down for him. 96.
Wow, he's way older than I thought.
29.
Ah, look at that.
Well, 28. He'll be 29 in a couple months.
Right, so that means that Takakeisha was born in 96. It was a good year.
Guess so.
I like 96.
Good for sumo wrestlers.
Yeah.
All right, so I put Takanosho here, -9. I think this is basically the M12 West is going to be the cutout for the lower chunk. Mostly okay up to that point. And then it's this that becomes the...
Right, because you have these 6 and 9s and 7 and 8. It's like, who do they decide?
Everybody's basically clustering down in the same spot. So... Yeah, and also what's happening is like you have these people like Shodai down here. He's already lower than the rank.
Should be yeah.
So you can't really put him too much further down over Shishi. And then Atami Fuji here, like maybe you can do this if you wanted to be a punk, and then give Shishi something.
I don't know. I don't know what the biases with Shishi are. Do they like him or not? Yeah. With those little moves, I feel like whether they like you or not matters.
Maybe that is a little. Yeah, that's so you'll get a half a rank.
Exactly.
You'll get a half a rank.
It's all about the half a rank favorability.
There is also like winning, and then winning more. Like what we really should be doing in the show, and we absolutely will not be doing, is going over like match by match and match history for all these guys. But so you like be like, okay, this guy beat this person who's higher ranked. A lot of your wins came from people that are ranked above you.
Right, so that would give you the best.
Give you a little bit of a nudge higher, and then like, oh, historically he's doing pretty well. That's pretty good. And
that's what we have the chat for. These guys like to do that, right?
Yeah, I mean that's. That would be if we're really giving it the good old college try.
Is that what who's the person who always has the Banzuke videos?
Oh, there's a few people. There's a few people who are a lot better at it.
They probably do that.
They probably do, yeah. You sit down with it.
I mean, some people stats is their thing.
Yeah. Also, like what you'll do, like right here for the Atami Fuji Shishi thing is just like, what's their record? You know, did they fight each other? Hey, I'll have a good night. Got a dip. Enjoy your evening, Spanky.
Yes.
If you really want to limit Shishi, no one would blink if Tommy Fuji goes over him.
Well, it's one of those things, right?
Well, yeah, I like seeing consistency. So like
that's true.
It always feels weird
if one guy gets way over or under when there's similar guys around.
Yeah, so like you go like this and you're just like, well, this guy's a 4, this guy's a 4.5, and this is a 3.5. At least like this, you're just like, okay, we're just doing.
It feels
just
right.
-4. Now we're going by feelings. We're not going by stats. We're not looking at any of this crap.
Plus, we're not in the room, and they might decide their own.
Yeah. So Endo to -1, it's fine. Kinbozan, it's really you can't really put him any higher.
Yeah.
Because all these people are already sort of getting squished.
Right. He's kind of stuck there.
He had 9 and 6 plus 2. 9 and 6 plus 2. 9 and 6 plus 2. So this cluster right here feels...
It fits.
Fits pretty good. Toke Hayate is doing the business in the ring. Keep doing it. You can't be ignored then. Toke Hayate.
He's really improved.
He made a statement in March.
He really did.
It was always the good but not good enough. And then he got down to the M18 that was created because Terunofuji retired.
And he made the best out of that opportunity. He's just like,
this is my time. And he did.
You gotta respect a man who takes advantage of his opportunities.
Yeah. And this 6-bout streak right. So... Great news. Again, we like the little guys here. I mean, we like the big guys, too, which is a lot of big guys in sumo. If you don't like the big guys in sumo, you have a problem.
You're kind of in the wrong sport.
Sunday morning sumo show. Just head to GR Sumo on YouTube and comment one of the videos posts when you want to do commentary on Michi Tabasho. Okay.
Connect.
Who are your guys, sneaky young guys and sneaky old guys? For me, I always think the Waka Bros are younger than they are. I feel like Abi and Takanosha are older than they really are.
Definitely Chirano Umi always sneaks up on me. I keep thinking he's younger than he is.
Oh, yeah, he's in his 30s. You can get that.
He's like almost a veteran, and I think he's like in his 20s.
Yeah, Endo's like 34.
Yeah, Endo's one that sneaks up on me. It's mostly like guys who are older. There's not a lot of guys that, for me, I feel are older that are younger. I mean, Daisho. What is Daisho?
Daisho's 29, 30.
Yeah, like he feels like... he feels older to me. Daisho feels older.
Yeah. Right, below Mesa, let's see.
I mean, they gotta throw Mesa a bone at this point.
Well, the +2 is a promotion, but not too bad. Let's see. If consistency-wise, everyone in that group over-demoted except Endo. I guess that's what you're... I guess they're saying to do this.
How do we feel about that?
Yeah.
Perhaps we're not really going to feel good about it, period.
That could be what the below Meiseido is, so that...
Definitely agree about Gonoyama. I thought he was a little bit younger, but Kinbozan looks his age to me. Yeah, Kinbozan started later, though, didn't he? Was he a college guy, or did he just, like... I don't know where Kinbozan's history is. That looks messy to me.
It's getting worse.
Yeah. You almost want to go back to the way you had it and ignore the comments. Ao Nishiki looks like he's 10 years older than he is. Some of it really is the weight. Some guys look... older with the weight. Does Tamawashi really look 40? Because he doesn't. His face has got the eternal youth thing going on.
Low mid-30s.
Yeah.
10 years younger than he is.
Yeah. So I think it's the weight makes some guys look older than and others. Aonishiki is not Japanese, so as it is, non-Japanese have harder facial features. You'd say that for any of them. Aoyama, wow, I'm losing it. Our other guy, Kaisei. They definitely looked older than they were because of that.
Yeah, he's 21. He's born in 2004.
Wow, he does look older than that. But like I said, he's got sharper facial features than the Japanese. Take Keisho looks like a little kid now that he's lost all the weight. I can't believe the difference between him as Ozeki and him now.
Babyface coach.
He could be a model now.
I don't get the Aonishiki old thing. He looks like a baby to me. Young, old, big, small, anyone can win on their day. What makes sumo great?
Yeah,
that's true.
That is the cool thing about
sumo.
sumo.
A college guy, Sadanomi's sneaky old. The only reason I know Sadanomi's old is because he's been around
forever.
Been around for the entirety of me watching.
Right, he was always there.
He was always there. It's just like, oh my god.
There's a small list of guys we can say that about.
Not saying you had an answer. That's fair. You just shout it out. It's fine. This is what you do. Some people just deceptively young or old. We've all met people like that.
Yeah, I'm not ragging on you. Hopefully it didn't seem that way. I'm just being me. I told you I'm not very precise in my language. I just kind of say whatever's in my head.
Okay.
It's all good here.
All right, so we're going to give this a look.
Something happens to me when it gets late where I start having like a southern accent, which doesn't make any sense to me.
Hoshoryu, fine. Onosado, fine. Kodazakura, fine. Daisho, fine. Kirishima, fine. Takeyashu, muscling out. Wakataka Kage. And then Wakataka Kage, unfortunately, can't bring his brother with him to Sanyaku.
Yeah, they're going to split up the brothers.
Split the brothers up. Okay. Takekisho shows up at Basho, and Rikishi want to carry him to the dojo like a toddler. Where are your parents?
Well, here's the funny thing, right? I finally saw a picture of his mother. She is gorgeous.
No.
She is one of the most beautiful women I have ever seen in my life. And I'm like, that explains it. That's why Takekisho has that face. And now that he's slimming down, like the weight was too much for him because he had smaller features. Now that the weight's coming off, he looks like his mom. I don't know if she is a model, but she should be a model. Wow. I was floored when I saw her.
So people got the looks.
Yeah. And Takekisho's dad's not bad looking, like softer features too. So, yeah. Now he looks like a little kid. He looks more now like a little kid in his 20s than he did when he was a little kid because he's been heavy his whole life. It's kind of strange.
Career sumo.
Yeah. He's probably like, yeah, I've been sumoing way longer than all of you. I'm done.
Gonna buy all new clothes.
Yeah.
Probably. It's a lot of weight.
Yeah. Definitely can't wear what he used to.
Okay, so all this, we're good.
Yes.
Okay. Oho. 6 of 9, so he drops out, but he was still Sekiwaki, so he's here.
Yep.
Abi, Kamasubi, so he's just a little bit down. We could do this, but that's kind of weird. Takekisho's mom gorgeous, his wife gorgeous, Takekisho gorgeous. His kid's adorable.
Yeah, his kid is adorable. That's a good-looking family all around.
Hey, got the genes.
That's why he now has all these fans just rushing at him.
Excuse me. All right, so Tamawashi +5, M2, wild.
Yeah.
So when we're up here, the math can just sort of do what it wants, which is nice. Hiradaumi +3, he's here, just where it slots him. Gonoyama would be here, but Hiradaumi pushed him out. That's fine.
That's kind of how it works out, yeah.
So Takeru Fuji getting Gonoyama 2 down, a 7 and 8 doesn't feel too good, so we're just gonna give the Takeru Fuji the 2.5. It's fine. Chiyoshima can't really go. Oh, we were doing right. We were doing that for a little while, and then chat called us out on our nonsense. So yeah. I always laugh at Teruno Fuji's kid. He always has the scowl.
It's true.
The resting Yokozuna face.
Yeah, it's like, well, there goes the future Yokozuna right there. He's gonna change the game. She is a model monster. She's much older than him. I think she's like 37 or something like that. So yes, but she is a model. Her father was a former Ozeki. In their home, they have a dohyo in the basement.
Over at Tozawa looking over their shoulders. Yeah, they're gonna get passed, I think. But we knew this was gonna happen.
Right.
Yeah. So
there's gonna have to be some tough calls on the Banzuke committee themselves. Like, they're sitting here like, what do we do?
Yeah. Well, come May, first off, all these people are gonna be fighting each other, which is just exciting. And then they're a little bit too low to get tested by the Ozeki, but I think some of these guys are gonna be hitting up the Sanyaku.
Well, especially if they do well enough, then they will get their shot.
M7, like for Hakuoho to fight Hoshoryu, like he needs to be like 9-10 wins.
Yeah.
Pretty early on. Like the Yokozuna.
I don't know if he's ready for that yet.
The Yokozuna cutoff is about like right here, M4, M5.
Yeah.
That's when you're probably safe, and then you go lower and lower and lower, like M9. You're not gonna worry about any of that mess.
It'll be interesting to see where Hakuoho ends up.
He's been consistent.
He's being consistent. He's doing the slow
build.
Yep.
Yeah. So
it's that Hakuoho that'll keep Hakuho in sumo.
Do we give it to Yamamoto just a half knock, and then we give Oshoma just a +3? Half knock. I'm trying to get him as close as we can to a hold without giving him a hold.
Well, would you swap? No, he wouldn't.
Yeah, then we're cutting into Oshoma. Yeah, let's just keep it consistent. Fine. fine. Oshoma gets a little bit of a like.
Yeah, because I feel like they wouldn't give Ichi Yamamoto different than Ura.
Yeah, they wouldn't.
It just doesn't seem right.
Yeah, and then they wouldn't give that. And then they wouldn't give that to him to Tobizaru either. So Toby. Well, this is kind of weird because Tobizaru usually has pretty good Banzuke luck, so for him the math worse.
It feels off.
What if Chiyoshima Henka's Hoshiryu again?
He's
beautiful.
Going to.
Please. Is that a promise?
I think he's going to do it, and Hoshiryu is going to expect it this time, and I think it's going to be like...
He's going to shoulder check him out of the ring. It'll be great.
Yeah, you think Chiyoshoma's going to try to grapple with Hoshiryu? I don't think so.
All right, so...
Then again, maybe that's the Hankos going straight in. This is the fine-tuning.
Yep, this is the fine-tuning.
Yeah, it's the hard part of the night, because now you've looked at the names enough time, and they start to look blurry, and you're like,
Did they really? All right, so... Really, we can't... Like, we do have this half step we can work with.
Right, and that half step makes a big difference. I feel like if you do that, you got to do it with Ichi Yamamoto.
Yeah, that's the thing. They have to be
I don't
the same.
like it.
They have to be the same.
Yeah, I really feel like they do.
Some need another basho. Some people, they need their patterns. You got to prove it.
Yeah. You're too basho to prove it.
All right.
I know, it's
gotta leave
messy.
It.
I don't
leave it unless the chat is just like, no.
Right, you got to give us a compelling reason to change it.
Well, there could be something out there. Okay, so now we're getting into the... here's the top of the mess.
Can we swap Awanishiki with Onokatsu?
No.
Okay.
Onokatsu is 3 ranks higher.
Oh, okay. See, I told you it's getting blurry.
Yep. So there was discussions. I have Tobizaru above Ura because of long-term history, but the last occurrence of the situation specifically success favored Ura, so it's 50-50. Okay.
Yeah, another one of those things where it could go either way.
So originally we had swapped Chirinaumi and Onokatsu, and then we got yelled at by 2 people in chat to put it back. So then we put it back.
So we'll put it back.
And then they yelled at us again. So that's we don't know where this is. Because so for Onokatsu and Aonishiki, that's 3 ranks.
Mm-hmm.
So Onokatsu gets a little higher up. But then for Chirinaumi, it's only 2 ranks.
That's why I was like,
And what gets really weird is that this is 15 East and 14 West. So this is actually a half rank.
Right. That's why I was like,
And then what you probably do is that you just sandwich Onokatsu between Chirinaumi and Aonishiki, and this is sort of how this makes its way out.
Okay.
Because if you give Onokatsu the full 5, then he's getting in the way of Chirinaumi, who got a special prize.
Right, which they wouldn't do, I don't think.
And then if you try to give Aonishiki his full 7, then he's stepping over somebody who's 3 full rungs ahead of him.
Right.
It's a lot of competing weight here.
He has special prize too, or
Aonishiki, yes.
does that factor in?
Maybe.
Were they offering Onokatsu a special prize if he won on the last day?
I don't remember.
Okay.
But so with a whole bunch to say, I think we're just gonna leave this.
Okay.
Leave this as it is. So now we're getting into this, which is also kind of weird. So trying to keep consistent, but we're not always consistent. We got our 9 and 6 plus 2, or 9 and 6 plus 2, which matches the 9 and 6 plus 2. And then when we're up here, there's a lot more room to move around. So people got some stuff going on there.
So I think that fits the Magashira 9.
So, and this also both the same. They were both the same score, and they were both the same rank. 11 East, 11 West.
Right.
So they're both whatever they do, they just go together.
Right.
They can't.
That feels right.
So we've raised those guys. Okay. So M9,
we're solid.
Or we feel like we're doing something. Chat, I'm keeping my eye on it. Okay, so now we're in N10. And so Kim Bozan was M5. So normally he'd be M8. But like we said, there was this big old logjam already right here. So because he has a losing record, he goes down. Kim Bozan is such a pain to place anywhere.
Yeah, pretty much.
So then we try to put Kim Bozan below Onokatsu, which would be
Then that messes up our...
And then that messes up the 9 and 6s and the Meiseis, because if you move one, you have to move both. So we just push him down again.
Right.
So he gets over-demoted, but it's because there's this chunk of people winning 9, 10 special prizes that are just saying, get out of there.
And he underperformed considering his previous tournament, so maybe they want to send an extra message.
Well, in fairness, you can also say that Kimbozan maybe like rose above where his level was, and so now he's about where it's supposed to be. Like I see Kimbozan like 8, 7, 8, like right there. So like this is just below. So this will give him a winning record in May, maybe. She's about 4 years older than him. Her dad, Ozeki Hokutenyu, whose house they live in, was the head of the Hatachiyama stable before dying in 2006. The Rikishi have joined Kitano Umibeya, then Yamahibiki.
Really? Only 4 years? I really thought it was much more than that.
Another basho for Onokachi with tens, and Ichi Ura and Tobizero are getting sweaty. Here's the next wave coming, by the way. We've got Hakuoho, good. Chernumi, good. Chernumi may hit his ceiling, but it's fine. Aonishiki, yes. Onokatsu, yes. So like this chunk, Midori, Fuji, and Meisei, we'll see. And then, so like this block of green is just gonna keep going up and up and up.
Mm-hmm.
And then all these blocks of red are just gonna get out of their way. Unless you do something about it in May.
Right. Change your fortunes.
Koniyama, come on. Koniyama's improving.
He is improving, even though that score didn't show it.
He just needs that extra turn of the wrench.
Mm-hmm.
Tim and I have Kimbozan at 9 East, but neither of us feel great about it. You'd have to, again, whatever you do to Midori Fuji, you have to do to Meisei.
Agreed. There was one active Rikishi who had Takekeisho's father-in-law and his stable master, Jonidan 98.
Amamidake.
Who was 40 years old. Well, that's not going to last, unfortunately. He's not Tamawashi.
Yeah, this is
and yes, we knew.
His wife, yep.
We knew that.
Well, Omega, Meisei could be in that group if he's not careful.
Yeah, Meisei's teetering.
Yeah,
I know, it's just sick.
I'm making a mental turn for Meisei to be more of a middle of the pack guy.
Yeah.
And that I'm really hoping he was starting. He just sort of woke up one day in March and he's just like, you know what, I'm just gonna run people out.
Well, I mean, his training partner's Hoshoryu. You would think that he'd be getting some benefit out of it, unless Hoshoryu's like pummeling his brains in.
Swapping Kimbozan to 10 East as soon as we're done, I think. Don't let our mess.
Yeah, you do you, because
we're just trying. We're just trying to make sense of this.
We're
mess.
trying things. We don't have any money on this, so
thanks to you guys, we're better than we were.
Oh yeah, we couldn't do this without you.
I was like a 2-13 by myself.
Yep, me too. We had the same record.
Yeah.
And we had different people.
Yeah.
And I'll never do it again. Not that way. This is way more fun.
Way more fun. So, Endo, I feel like Endo is just like the one person who gets out of this.
Maybe there's like historical precedent for that or something.
So we could do something like, again, then it gets weird because then we have 3, 6, and 9.
Yeah,
and
I don't like it. I don't like that.
Happens 3 different, like, it's just sort of like.
Unless they decided to do it that way, which I just feel like they wouldn't.
Great entertainment. Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate that. I'm glad that we're entertaining.
So we look at this and we just go to Kimbozan and be like,
just deal with it.
Just deal with it. I'm sorry, buddy.
There's just nowhere for you. Yeah. Suck it up and do better.
Yeah. Yeah, and then it's the same thing for Shodai and Atami Fuji. It's just that they just.
It's just the way it math.
It's like well, we would have put you higher, but there's nowhere to put you. And then like for Shishi, like we could put him a little higher, but
then Endo.
But then also now we have the 9 and 6, the 9 and 6, the 9 and 6. We were talking about the +2s. Don't worry, they'll open that Kamasubi slot and screw us all. Oh my god.
That would actually be funny. It'd be terrible, but it'd be funny.
Imagine they do this. And
the whole thing will be wrong.
Oh my gosh.
I wonder if people do Banzuke guessing in Japan, so they won't for money. So do they?
Probably.
Yeah, they gamble. Right? So maybe they don't want to do that.
Prop bets on that. prop bet is Wakamoto Haru gets Sanyaku. No.
Make a lot of money if you were doing that.
Well, pretty sure it's not legal.
Yeah. Well, pachinko parlors. I don't know.
It's fine. It's fine.
I don't know the laws.
Oh. It'd be whether or not the Sumo Association is like, you better be paying us.
Well, is it too close then to gambling on?
Well, actually, hang on a minute. Like if you do like betting on sports, and like the NFL doesn't give a damn, do they? Do they get a cut?
Yeah, I don't think they care.
They don't care.
No. I mean, there's entire sports websites now, like for all that stuff. Fantasy this, fantasy that.
I guess not.
They would totally do fantasy Banzukes if enough people watch sumo. Yeah, some people. California, they do.
I'm making up data. It's terrible.
Everything we're saying is
Horrible.
a lie. Don't listen to us.
What's the source of your information on this gambling? I made it up.
Source. My brain.
Sounds right. Saw on sumo forums it was found someone entering the same results as some sumo magazine in Japan. Oh, cheeky.
Okay.
Okay, Onokatsu above Churano Umi 50C.
Did you see the my gut is saying 9W right now, but I
Yes.
don't trust myself? Okay.
Sorry, I didn't read it out loud. I read it.
Got it.
Yeah, this whole yeah. So another Churano Umi versus Onokatsu debacle. I can't.
It's becoming common.
They're all the same rank. It's all the math is. All I can think of, why doesn't anyone cross-post it for me? I want to see it too. NFL didn't used to, so they were against it. Now they do get a cut, so therefore...
That's the way it works. If you want to know the answer to any question, it's who's making the money.
Yeah. Just the president of the NFL just woke up and there was a duffel bag of money on the front porch. He was like,
Sports gambling, all right.
Sure.
We care about the fans. It's for them.
Okay. So Shodai and Itami Fuji, just sorry, buddies. Shishi, this is about as high as we can get them.
And with the claw, they're going to punish him.
If he had a normal Tachiai, it'd be +3. It's
Yeah,
fine.
exactly.
It'd be normal Tachiai.
He doesn't really understand Japanese that well, so they don't feel as bad.
That's a weird one.
Yeah.
That one. Now, I don't
know how you survive, honestly.
Like getting airdropped into a country and having to learn the language, that terrifies me. I get that, but I feel like if it's sink or swim,
you just do it.
You kind of have to do it, yeah. And I can't. Somebody somewhere in that place has to have pulled him aside with like a Rosetta Stone, and
here we're working on this.
Here's Ukrainian to Japanese, an hour a day, just hit it.
At least just the sumo terms.
I don't know.
The whole thing's a little weird.
The other 50 cc's on a Roga demotion.
Roga demotion?
Not as high as this.
Oh, okay.
I'm guessing. But I don't know. She just... I want him to stay weird.
Yeah, I agree. Why change? We've always discussed how everybody has their place as an individual. This is who they are.
Here's the thing. So originally I'm just like, oh, he'll shore up. He'll get better. And then now Nishiki shows up, and I'm just like, oh,
forget it.
We have our straight man, and then we have the bit player.
Exactly.
So
we don't need him to change.
Fine. Roga is going to a little high, but if he doesn't go to M14, then Ryuden gets a half rank to emote for 6 and 9.
Yeah, and I don't like that. As it is, only one is kind of... Yeah. It's going against everything else.
So we all agree that M7, M8, M9, and M10 is kind of a little weird. But we're getting to a point where at least things look like they fit in.
Yeah.
All right. So then we have M12, Takanosho 3 and 12. This is just where he ends up.
Yep.
Tragic. But
the reality.
So now we're back to math making a little more sense. Oh, Roga. Getting a 3 and 12, crashing out. Oh, Roga was looking pretty good, and then he falls out. How did that SOB do in Jirio? He was 11 and 4. Oh my god, I'm tired. Yeah.
You've hit that point.
So like he was climbing. He was like M8 or so, gets an injury, tries to come back, makes it worse, falls down to
knocked out.
Juryo. But then when he's down in Juryo, he gets 11-4. It's like that is I have no business in Juryo kind of a rank.
Right. I got in a bad situation.
Assuming he's fine, I think that he'll climb at least in 10 before anything really starts getting in his way.
That's when he starts to
I mean, I think if you look at
teeter a bit.
You're just like, what's Shonen Omega to do to Roga? Nothing. What's this form of Ryuden? Unfortunately, no answer for Roga.
No answer for that.
So there's some stuff here. Middle M is where the stream could become endless if we let it. If they do open up a Kamasubi shop, it's going to ruin everyone's Banzuke. But any news on the sumo shirts?
Yeah. So the story with that is, I have a friend who's supposed to help me, but because both of our schedules have been so busy, it's on hold. But it's not done for. It's just on hold for a minute until her and I can get together, because there's 50 million different options and I want to pick the right option that makes sense. And she's done a lot of work in this area, so it doesn't make any sense for me to do it all on my own when I have an expert. So when schedules mix properly, I will give you an update. So
there you go. So Sada Naomi and Koto Shoho are getting a nice bump up because there's a hole left by all the people who fell out. And so Sada Naomi was just like, well, this is as high as I can go, so I'm going to be right here. And you've got to be higher than all these Juryo folks because you have a promotion.
Right.
And you're going to be doing better than these 6s and 9s and 4s and 11s, so you just go right up in there. So this is sort of the contention point, is how high up do we put Ryuden and Shonen Umi compared to their Juryo counterparts, and this is sort of where that line between Juryo and Megashira becomes a thing. So I have no strong opinions on how that high Juryo guys go because I always get it wrong. That said, I have Kaio higher.
To which Monster says you have to be mean.
Extra mean to the Juryo guys. Kaio is tied to Shonen Umi, so I put Shonen Umi over by default.
Which is what we learned from Monster way back when.
Yeah, Monster. Mitch also is very big on Juryo,
punishing the Juryo guys.
Punishing the Juryo guys.
Which, that fits with the whole seniority thing.
Yeah. So if you look at it like from here, Kaio, like, I'm doing air quotes, maths to like M17 or so, which is here, but he's better than that, so he goes higher.
Right.
If you're looking at this left thing and it's all just one big list, which doesn't, again, anytime you have a big rank change, like the rank between Megashira and Kamasubi or between Megashira and Juryo, like there's a little divide there that will absorb energy.
Yeah.
And so if you're going higher, it's not as high, but if you're dropping down, it's not always as low.
Right.
Intangible.
It's its own thing.
Its own thing. I'm not qualified to speak on, but so like if anything, Kaio is like a little higher than he would normally be because he's going to be better than Tochi Taikai, who was one rank lower with the same number, and he's going to be better than these guys who should technically be in Juryo.
Right. Only saved by the Megashira 18 spot.
Yes. So he's bumped up a little bit, and he's propped up here. Tamashoho similarly is going to be better than Tochi Taikai because he's Juryo 3, which means that he's higher than all these other people, but he's not better than Kaio. So there he is. So this is this chunk. Kaio is built like Takakeisho, but without the leg girth. He's the potato on toothpicks build.
Oh, boy.
We saw Kaio once in the top division.
Yeah, so I haven't really made a huge impression.
Or something like that. But yeah, we've only seen him once. He's gonna be something that's gonna be fun to watch because he's been one of those guys who's been Juryo, be like, oh, what's his deal?
Right, like he gets on your radar, but you don't have enough time to really watch him. So now we get our opportunity.
Again, we focus on the top division
because it just.
Like, if I wasn't doing... Well, it's in a weird thing. If I wasn't doing the podcast, I'd probably watch a lot more Juryo. I'd probably pay attention to the Megashira, or Makushita and all that other stuff. But I wasn't doing the podcast, I would probably not do that at all, because I'd be like, I'll just watch it.
Right. Exactly. So it's...
It's a weird... Yeah, it's a weird...
It's a thing. It's a juggling.
Yeah, it's a juggle. I can't say it's never bit me, but being mean to Jiraiya guys has saved us a lot more points than it's lost us. Right,
Good rule of thumb.
So yeah, so from here, it's like, here's our basement for people getting demoted. And Shonan Naomi should be 7, so he's propped up, and Ryuden should be much lower.
Yeah.
He should be down here, but he's just propped up. He
because
fell
of
on
the
a
new
cushion.
Guys, yeah. He's resting on top of the Juryo men.
So that gives Roga the +7 from Juryo 3 is basically where he is actually.
So that fits.
So he mats about right there, Juryo cushion notwithstanding. And then because Roga's here, that's also why Sadanoumi and Kodashoho are here, because you can't get a promotion and then get outpaced by somebody from Juryo. So yeah. Sorry, Takara Fuji, I don't want to do that to you. Yeah. Okinawa's eating good, Chiranaumi kicking butt, Kaio promotion to Makuchi, Miyano Kaze promotion to Juryo. Is he Miyagi? And now he's Miyano Kaze? That makes sense.
Monster standing for Chiranaumi.
Chiranaumi badass.
Yeah, no, I agree.
He stands and delivers. He does not care.
The interview, I have to say, Monster really turned my opinion completely when I read the interview, because it was very thoughtful. And I'm a sucker for somebody who really thinks about something and is passionate about it.
Okay. We have something vaguely resembling a Banzuke.
This would be the last call for any dramatic changes that you really think. The top division is really missing something when it doesn't have the brawler guy. I completely agree. We've had brawlers for years and now.
Chiranaomi's there.
Koto Shoho when he shows up.
Koto Shoho when he shows up. Koto Shoho when he gets a few seconds to get into the match. May say when somebody brings it out of him.
Yeah, he matches his opponent's energy.
He does.
But we don't have like the Yu Takayama, the Chionokuni. What's the Chionofuji? Shohozan. Like, we had some Yoshikaze.
Yeah, we thought of it at the same time.
That's right.
That dude would leave it all out there.
So much blood. It was really kind of shocking. Dude was awesome.
Let the carnage begin.
And then we find out that Takakeisha was like a huge fan, but he could never say anything. And now, like, he kind of talks to him.
So good. All right, I think we have something. I think we're in a good spot.
Let us know if there's anything pressing that you're like, no, don't do that, because otherwise this is it.
I think we do. Yeah, so then we'll put it in. God, this pot always.
It's so fun, isn't it?
I
wish it had the same entry form as the actual like helper.
There might be.
Because it hurts your eyes a little bit.
A little bit.
Chiranaumi is so cool. Too bad he had that anal fistula that kept him from being 100% during his 2, 4, and 11 basho.
Rough.
All these dudes, man.
It's always something.
Hurting.
All right.
Weren't we like 11-4 the last time?
Yeah, we did real good. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, so it's getting better.
I'm getting there.
I don't know if we can top an 11-4 though. This might be our.
Oh yeah,
This might be our 9-6.
Keep your expectations tempered.
I think that's a good rule of thumb for most things.
If we get our goal is the 8-7. We want more wins than losses, and we don't always get that. That gets pretty close. Kimbo's on placement is low for my taste, but it's a close call. It's a lot of. Yeah, God,
I think we just risk making everything look messy if we don't.
Yeah, we'd have to move a lot of things if we're gonna move things for Kimbozan. I don't think.
So I think we're gonna keep it, even though you might be right.
It might be, and again, all we need to do is just.
Because it would be better if he was a 4 instead of a 4.5.
11 for your basic on Ozeki run. Yeah.
Yeah, look at that. We will be Yokozuna of the Guess the Banzuke.
Imagine. Be wild.
I don't think anybody's watching our channel, though, for Banzuke advice.
No.
You look at some of the channels, and they get, like, thousands of views for their Banzuke.
Well, these are the people. They got the data. They got
visuals.
Yeah. Has it been 6 bosses since you started doing good? If not, then you're good.
Has it even been that many? I don't think it's even been 6. We'd have to go back and count how many Guess the Banzuke things we've done.
Hang on a minute. Yeah, we'd have. Yeah, that's the only way we'd be able to do it because we'd have to just count the videos in the live stream.
I'll post it in the post section. I'll let you know how many it's been.
I don't keep track of that crap.
I always have to come up with some fun things to post.
Where the H is Tamawashi? Oh my god.
I wish the post section was more like noticeable to people. Like most people don't even know it exists. It used to be the community tab. Now it's called posts. I don't know why, but whatever. How does scoring work with the Guess the Banzuke? You get like 1 point for an exact correct one. Is that right?
Wait a minute.
Yeah, VPNs and all that stuff.
Give me a minute.
Taka to Fuji 10 and watch out, the shoulders next are coming. Takeru Fuji, not Takara Fuji. It goes over all your scores the past year. Oh. I think he's saying you could check all your scores.
Past contests. Oh my god, I'm here.
Look at that.
Let's see.
You exist.
I didn't know how to database.
But we have to count from when we started doing it with
yes.
you.
Oh, it was a 1 in 14. I gave myself more credit than I just
I think I was a 2 in 13.
Okay, so this was these first 5. I'm gonna blow this up so everybody gets to stare at my failure. Hey, look at that. So this here is when I was playing by myself and just trying to figure it out. And then right here.
Yeah, the 7 and 8 was our first one, I
This
think.
might be this might be the first year, 1 year anniversary.
Oh, look at that. So we've been doing it longer than I realized.
Right here. 7 and 8, 8 and 7, 10 and 5, 7 and 8, 9 and 6, 11 and 4.
6. Look at that.
So.
Wow, how'd you even call that? Were you looking at his name, or did you just guess? That was pretty good.
Fancy. Oh no, this is all super big. It's gonna help me. Trying to get on teeny tiny vision. Pop this in.
I remember the last time we were doing this, Goose was relentlessly mocking us for only having like these 2 screens up. He's like, yeah, why wouldn't anybody want to watch your entertaining content when you have only 2 screens up?
Or a chatty stream.
It's all for the talk.
Or chatty Cathy's.
So the goal is Kachikoshi this time. Yes, a modest goal of Kachikoshi, not an 11 and 4.
Well, the goal is always Kachikoshi. If we get more than that, then that's nice.
It's a nice little bonus.
Again, this is me without you guys.
What a difference.
Bumbling about.
Why is it pink? Is it because of the scores? Because the 4 and 11's not pink.
Oh, maybe it was like a percentage thing. Like maybe this one, because... No, I don't know.
Right there, that's where the Irish came out. Maybe it's a percentage stream. There's a little bit of a question.
Oh.
The Irish accent comes out.
So we bet.
Goose, you literally watched the stream. It's true. Despite his mockery of us.
He has fun. Let him have fun.
That's how he enjoys things. Is through mockery, gentle insult. You know.
We're not here to stop fun. We're not the fun police.
No. We let you guys get away with a lot, I think. But I won't always... They know that if they say certain things in the comments, I'm not going to read it. I learned the hard way. I trusted them for a while, and there was a couple of streams where they went crazy, and I'm like, nope, I will not read those types of comments.
Where? Reading's becoming a problem. There you go. Here we go.
Goose is everyone's older brother, pretty much. I was gonna say that Goose. It's definitely like brother energy.
Okay.
I can't say that my own brother isn't
what?
very similar in that one
God.
area.
I can't. Oh my God! Hang on. Doing this wrong.
Well, it's difficult because you go from this nice colorful screen to this black and white mess.
No, I see what I did wrong. We're fine. I fixed it.
Goose is the edgy older brother.
Edgy older brother.
That kind of sounds Australian.
Oh, that's what. Okay. And then I snap back. Yep. All right. Repaired. I don't do this on stream, but I think people are like, oh, if he's doing this on stream, then the stream lasts longer and they could talk more.
Exactly.
You guys' choices. If this is boring crap, then we can just cut it, and then I'll finish filling out the form so you guys can go about your business.
Yeah. If you feel like you should go to bed, then
Yeah.
feel free to say goodbye, guys.
Yep.
We're done with you. Tries to act tough, but we know he's a big old softy.
Okay, that's
Yeah, but he is also a martial artist, so there's got to be a little bit of a seriousness to his toughness. He always says he wants to spar me. I don't think I would want to spar him. I don't think so. I don't think that would be fun for me. Yeah, while you're doing that, it puts the pressure on me to be like, say random stuff. Yeah, guys, because they're all burning out. You can
They're
tell.
all burning out. Oh, do you want to just cut the feed?
Yeah, we might
We're
just.
gonna cut the feed. I think we're gonna.
Unless he wants to talk about Suikoden too.
We'll talk about more video games and playing Suikoden too.
The video game thing is really more John's topic. He learned martial arts to keep his family safe. Us. Yeah, John's really the video game guy. I have specific video game types that I like. So, I'm not really...
Suikoden 2. Shout out to Joey.
Joey. Oh, is that a character in the game?
Yes, it is.
Okay. I was going to say, see, I don't even know. All right. Oh, look at stall. Okay, fine. We'll stall.
They said it.
All right. I will talk about... Let's see. I usually talk about anime when I'm trying to stall. The problem is I gave up anime for Lent, so I can't even say I've been watching anything. Counting down the days. Gonna be watching Hunter x Hunter again.
Been watching Delicious in Dungeon.
Maria, did you see the new My Hero Academia anime? I know of its existence, but like I said, I have given up anime for Lent. So Easter is Sunday. I will be watching some anime next week. I think the new anime is Vigilantes. Is that right? And any plans for short form content? I have plans for short form content. The problem is they have very rigid rules about the aspect ratios, and it's like, I don't have time for that. Yes, you can give up non-foods for Lent. You'd be surprised the different things you can give up for Lent.
So the no meat on Fridays is the baseline.
Right.
And then what you do is, from there, you need to give up something that you will miss.
Right. It's a sacrifice. The whole point is a sacrifice.
Yes.
So you got to pick something good. Now, some people will cheat and they'll be like, I'm giving up something I don't even really do anyway. I can't think of something. Like, some people give up chocolate, but then they eat Skittles. I try to pick something that is painful for me. And giving up anime is very painful for me. I feel you, but Lent is almost over. Also, John, huge W watching Delicious in Dungeon. Your thoughts so far?
It's fun. I'm definitely in season 2. There's what was the last thing we saw? It went back to doing lore things with elves. It's fun. I think it's earned its reputation of being fun. There's lots of nice little in references to people who are like fantasy nerds.
And sometimes you got to just have fun and like cut out some of the serious. There's a
Yeah.
lot of serious like things.
Yeah, it gets serious, but it's not. It doesn't last long.
Yeah, I haven't. I actually want to check it out when I can. Sacrifice Coke. I'm assuming you're saying you sacrificed Coke. What is your favorite victory condition? I like Totari. Totari is nice. I like any of the throws really. Obviously anything Ura does, but
So there's the two things that immediately come to the top of my head are the Ashitori like pick, but it's more of when they get away with it.
right.
There's also the Uchari when they pick you up and they just
Put you over your back.
Yeah, they do this spin because I still remember Wakamoto Haru hitting Hokuseiho with that Uchari, and it was like, how did you lift that huge guy?
I know. Just all about the balance there. I like just your standard arm throw, and I don't know if that is Uwatanage, like where you hook the arm and you throw. Because Takakeisho it's always about Takakeisho. Takakeisho used to surprise people every once in a while, and I still have the image. And if you watch the Takakeisho tribute video of when he threw Koto Shoho that way, I mean, I love it. I love the just the standard grab the arm and throw.
Speaking of Koto Shoho, it's his turn. Yeah.
I fully cheated and gave up on religion. That's definitely a cheat. Definitely. Like all soda. I do like soda, but man, puts on the pound, so I gave up soda a long time ago. The Elf organization is most boring part of the anime.
Yeah, and Delicious in Dungeon.
Okay.
Yeah, they have these sequences where it's about politics and stuff like that, and some of it's interesting and some of it's not.
My favorite Kumarite is Suinage. I don't care if you don't have a grip, I'm going to throw you anyway. So is that's the beltless arm throw, right? But wait, that might be actually the one I like.
It's like you just like body locks and like grappling their body rather than their arms or their belts.
Okay. Yeah, I think I like that one too. Amoichi is a low-key kind of cool. That's the fisherman's throw, and I think Hoshoryu does that one. Yes, that's right. I'm sitting there, as soon as you put in Suinage, I'm like, that's actually the throw that Takakeisho did on Koto Show. Awesome. Not low-key, as an unknown, everyone likes it. Takakeisho's throw of Koto Shoho was a Suinage. Another reason I love him. He Suinage Koto Zakura to stay Ozeki. Yeah. So I guess that is my favorite move. And it's all because of Takakeisho and how he made it look. Because it's like he's this little tiny guy with these short arms. We're talking height-wise. These little short arms. And somehow he threw these massive men with that Suinage. So there you go. Win by Hanka. So you're a Hanka man. Okay. I was saying this in one of the live streams. A few times in sparring, I got punched in the face. And I'm like, this feeling I have right now must be the same feeling they have when they get hanked. Because you're like, I'm not exactly sure how this happened. And I'm really angry about it. I mean, I didn't get hurt or anything, but it's like an insult. When you get punched in the face in a spar, I don't like it. It's the equivalent to a Hanka. The leg trips are also really cool. The Amoichi is where you grab the arm and throw them back as a parry plus throw. Yeah, and I think that's why they call it the fisherman's throw. And I know I've seen Wakamoto Haru do it. I'm pretty confident, but I think Hoshoryu has done it a couple of times as well. Not recently, though. Not in his Yokozuna life. My favorite is when Ura does Dragon Ball stuff and they call it Oshidashi or something. Yeah, sometimes they look at it and they're like, I don't know what that was. Just call it something. Leg trips are good. Yeah, those are always fun. The leg trips are awesome, but when they fail, you just look so bad. And more often than not, you are going to fail with the leg trip unless you are really good. Tobizaru is pretty good at it. Can't think of his name now because he's been gone. Terutsuyoshi, when he was good, but he would fail epically as well. Is that our completed form?
Yeah, I'm going just making sure I put down everyone's name right.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than losing a point because you accidentally transcribe something incorrectly.
Yep. Okay.
Awesome. Kakadu had the failed leg trip and then retired. Yeah, that's the kind of thing it does. It's like, you know what? I'm done now. If you lose to Ichi Yamamoto, Tobizaru, those are the two guys. If you lose to them, you're just like, that's it. My tournament's over. Or if you fail a leg trip. Those are the standard rules. Okay, guys.
That's it.
I stalled enough. We got a couple extra topics in there. So thank you for joining us. Thank you for helping us. I hope we at least get a Kachikoshi. I think we will.
I feel confident.
And we'll see you very shortly. The May tournament's around the corner.
Yeah, we've got 2 weeks the Banzuke comes out, and then the preview show will be after that.
Yep. And then the recap show will be Memorial Day weekend, which is nice because that gives us a little bit of leverage that we don't normally have. So, let's see. Ukrainians use a lot of judo, jujitsu stuff. Yep. Tertsuyoshi failed the leg trip a lot more than he succeeded. Correct, which is what made it funny. I'm assuming, Callie, that you are referring to the fact that we're leaving. Yes, unfortunately, we must. It also matters how the bout looks like. The Kubinage that Hoshiryu pulled against Onosata was beautiful. Yes, the Kubinage, that's the head one, right? Awesomeness as well. Thank you for all these reactions that we're getting. Oh, a plug? Okay, a quick plug. Hi, guys. This is Maria from 42 Opinion Sumo. Like, comment, and subscribe. And good night. Half-hearted. Sorry, guys.